You alive? Hello. Uh, yeah, I have done literally none of the setup. I shall put the invite link there. Plus, I'm going to have to go to bed in about an hour and a half, so it's not going to be a long one. But I went to Missing Mods, and she's doing a premiere. It's very interesting. I'll put the link in shortly. So I was watching that, but I couldn't join. And with it all being about me, do you know what I mean? I had to start up my own stream. Right. So we'll do a song. Right, what have we got open while I do the setup? I should work this out better. In a way that, yeah, it's better. Oh no, I'll just play the old intro. Sorry, just while I do the setup. Sorry. Oh.
These palm trees, they sway, but each night and each day I'm kind of on a dreaming about you. Oh yeah, got this world-class view, but it's you that I think about every time my mind's on it. And it's you that I think about every time when I feel lonely. And it's you that I call on my FaceTime when I need something real. Oh yeah, I work the night shift till late in the PM. I'm California dreaming. California dreaming about you. 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 California dreaming.
Hello. Yeah, I think that's setup done. One sec. I'll just get Missing Mod's stream. She's having a like a premiere, so I'll put that in the side chat. It's really interesting, actually. It's like a meet and greet with someone. So I'll put that in the side chat. And yeah, but it was a premiere, so it wasn't all about me. So I had to start up my own stream. What's the other thing? Oh yeah, I've just been on JG's, and Nisha and Lionheart were there, and they let me on, to be fair. And then JG wasn't there, as always. He never seems to be on his own channel, which is weird. So I joined that, made a couple of comments. I actually agreed with Lionheart. We were talking about whether the Bible actually says that God is all-knowing. I thought it was based on one passage, but to be fair, he gave some other passages which kind of agreed with him, so I conceded to that. And then JG put in the side chat that Nisha and Lionheart were doing a discussion on the video, and Wildheart is always is already kind of distracting from the conversation because he wouldn't let Midnight in. So I left. Do you know what I mean? I basically just said one thing, and that was saying hello to Nisha and agreeing with Lionheart. And JG was still a bit pissy right now, which is fine. It's a show. So if anyone wants to join, link is in the side chat and it's pinned. But like I said, this is only going to be a short one because they have to go to bed in about an hour and a half, something like that. Yeah, so that's that. It's been a good day, by the way. I've been to Prihab again. That was good. That was really cool, actually. I'm actually enjoying it. Oh, where is it? We did this thing. This is kind of embarrassing. It's called Mirror Me. What do you see when you look in the mirror? It says, I see someone who is friendly, kind, nervous, depressed, struggling with alcohol, ill with medical problems, intelligent, meaning well, but failing a lot. And then you pass it around the room and they say what they think of you. So these are their comments, the rest of the people in the group. It says, trying, very quiet, want to know you more. Always says good morning with a smile. Fighting his hardest to battle his anxiety. Very quiet, thoughtful, genuine. So I thought that was good. So, yeah, it's been a good day. But we don't do feelings in the north. Do you know what I mean? So it's also a little bit weird. I'm not used to doing that kind of thing. Yeah, I suppose I could put the link out to a bit more places. Bear with me. I'll give it out to Midnight because sorry. Because he couldn't get in JG's invite. Bear with me. And someone else is online, so I'll send it to them. And then I'll send it to all the rooms in Google Chat. Right. 1 sec. Uno segundo. Which I think is Spanish, but 1 second. Cool. That's the setup completely done now. Mucker North, who's that? I think I know you. I'm going to guess that I know you and trust you.
Hello, Wildheart.
How's it going?
All right, not bad. I wanted you to talk on I wanted your opinion, but I wanted to have a little discussion with you.
Yeah, go.
More regarding it. What's your opinion on the Book of Exodus?
I think it's mostly fabricated. I don't think the Exodus actually happened. There's no archaeological evidence for there being that many Jews leaving. There's no archaeological evidence of them being slaves in Egypt or that many Jews leaving. I think it's not completely made up, but mostly made up.
No worries. So if you're not taking it, if you're taking it more as fiction,
Yeah,
let's say you were a Christian or
Yeah.
really dedicated or following any religion in life, right?
yeah,
Do you not think the words, I am the Lord your God, who brought you out of Egypt, out of the land of slavery, you shall have no other gods before me, you shall not make for yourself an image in the form of anything in heaven above, or on the earth beneath, or in the waters below. You shall
Yeah.
not bow down to them or worship them. For I, the Lord your God, am a jealous God, punishing the children for the sin of the parents to the third and fourth generation of those who hate me, but showing love to 1,000 generations of those who love me and keep my commandments. Now, if we're taking that as the direct Lord, or the direct word of God, right?
Yeah, no, if I can stop you there, we're
Go on.
not. I'm not taking that as direct. That's what I'm saying.
No, I know you're not. I'm actually with you. I know your beliefs and takes on religion.
Yeah.
I'd agree with you. I'm more looking to have a dig at Bible bashers that want to preach.
All
Now,
right.
yeah, so just bear with me. So
Yeah.
you shall not make for yourself an image in the form of anything. It's talking about false prophets, and I'm presuming that in symbols, crosses, especially materialistic fucking necklaces, jewellery, depicting
Particularly,
religious. Yeah,
sorry,
so my go on.
particularly in Exodus, it's the golden calf. Which they end up. I think that's what
Right.
the sacrifice in Exodus.
But do
Yeah.
you not think if you're following that as a direct word of God, you can trace that, or you can follow right through to like sort of places of worship? Do you not think that's a bit of a societal construct? A church?
You'll have to explain that to me more. I
Well,
can't
the
see where
people
you
inside it, vicars,
Yeah.
priests. Why are we going to a vicar, a priest, a man in uniform? Why are you serving him?
Yeah.
He hasn't got authority over God. He doesn't have the authority to fucking place God's will, want on any of us.
Yeah. Can,
The
can I just
Catholic Church, the Pope, cardinals.
can I just get where you're coming from though? Are you a Christian?
No,
Welcome,
I'm
Sammy.
an
By the way.
atheist. I'm an
Right.
atheist.
I just don't know where you're coming from when you say. So you don't believe the Bible is the word of God? You're saying should it make some
No,
sense?
I'm saying if we're following a Christian's principles, well, there's one book and there's one specific verse from that book that basically tells you everything you should need to know. Churches, crosses around your neck, a man in a vicar, a cardinal, a pope, whatever denomination of Christianity it is. I just think it's fucking bullshit. It's all man-made.
I agree with that. Yeah. I was wondering where you're going. That's all. Yeah.
So it's a
But-
societal construct. It's man-made.
Yeah.
They're making these places, or they certainly did at one point in time, these places of worship. Just let me get the quote up again. You shall not make for yourself an image in the form of anything in heaven above, or on the earth beneath, or in the waters below. Well, that would be a church, in my opinion. Everything it encompasses, from the building, the architecture, to the man, the levels of power we've instilled on ourselves as human beings, or those types of, the church, the power, the ranks. Well, they're all false prophets and false idols. Do you need to go to church every Sunday does God need to know you go to? No, it's a form of control.
Yeah, I get what you're saying, but I think you might be going a bit too far. According to the Christians, God was just saying, like, the first commandment, you shall have no other gods before me. Do you know what I mean? You're saying, don't worship anything than me.
Well, there are better quotes than that and verses in the Bible, aren't there, that actually speak directly on false prophets and idols. So why do we still take the Catholic Church and other Why do we still put credence on these things?
Yeah, I get what you're saying, and I
They're
agree.
corrupted to the core. They're old white men for the majority that have instilled themselves.
Yeah,
Yeah, installed themselves. It's fucking
yeah,
It's bollocks.
yeah. I think it's
Anyway,
yeah.
right, Wilder.
Go.
I was very pleased to see you didn't follow through burning those few pages of the Quran the other day.
Oh yeah, no, that's fine. Yeah,
No, I'm gonna say, listen,
yeah.
not a very good idea. I don't know who that gentleman was you had around you on panel at the time, but he seemed to be real world switched on. Not advisable. It's not worth the stress you need, fella. Right.
No, it's not stress. I don't know any Muslims.
No, I know you don't, but I don't think you have to know any Muslims to enrich any religious community. But there was some truth to what I was saying.
Can just say welcome to Cheeky Chops. Good to see you, man.
Were you going to do that though? Were you actually serious about burning that live on stream?
Yeah, someone actually sent it me in order for me to burn it.
But you'd actually already, the pages were actually already pulled out, weren't they?
No, that was the Bible. I burnt the Bible first. I burnt a couple of pages of the Quran. Oh, I burnt most of the Bible and then I ripped the Bible up. But I've only burnt those pages of the Quran. Just
Nice
Can I ask you
though,
something?
Yeah.
Personal to you.
Yeah. I am in
What made you the empathetic narcissist? Well, those are two words. So that, like, you're going to have to explain this one to me, but just let me ask Wilder.
It's an inside joke between Wilder and I. Just ask me a question.
Can I just ask Wilder this question, then I'll leave you both together. Thank you. Wilder, was there a certain point in your life that you specifically turned yourself away from religion? Were you ever religious and then turned away? Like, why are you a proud atheist?
No, I've never understood it. I went to 2 Catholic schools and I've never believed in God. To me, from like as early as I can remember, like 4 or 5 years old, I've always, to me, realised that it was complete bullshit. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. And I think I've been on this quest for about 20 years to try and find out how anyone can believe in religion. And I'm not saying I'm more intelligent than them, or it's an intelligence thing.
No, you don't strike me as a person that does that.
Yeah. It's just, I literally don't understand how anyone can believe in God. To me, it was always just obviously made up. Do you know what I mean? People want to live forever, so they're going to make a religion what makes them live forever. People are afraid of dying. Do you know what I mean?
Do you have any beliefs on life after death? Not necessarily a...
No, I don't believe there is any life after death. Not like personally. Do you know what I mean? I mean, you have some fun in that, but as a conscious, I don't think there is. No, I think once you're dead, you're dead. That's it. Like before you were born. Do you know what I mean? I think
no worries, Wilder. I'm going to jump off anyway because I've got a half-eaten jacket potato in front of me. I'll leave you with your friend, the empathetic narcissist. Interested in him.
You can say about if you want, but yeah, it's good to see you. Anyway.
Catch you later, fella. Bye.
Thank you. It is an interesting name.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Catching up with her chat. How's it going, Midnight?
Oh, you know, fairly well. Just playing Transformers.
Are they robots in disguise?
Yes.
Get in. And I've just realised I do need the bathroom. I'll catch up with the side chat in 2 minutes. I'll be right back.
Is that what the kids are calling it these days? So I guess, yeah. Let's see. Oh, he's back. Goody. He's back from pissing. Maybe.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it was a piss. Yeah. Just catch up with the side chat. It's a bad idea. He's right, Wilder. I'm not sure. Burning the Quran. I think it's much overemphasised the amount of influence the Muslims have on the UK. I looked it up and it's like 6% of UK residents are Muslim. I think it's.
That doesn't really mean anything. Just because 6% of Muslims
Yeah.
live there, that doesn't mean they don't have influence with that. Like, you really should
Yeah.
keep up with your politics better.
Yeah, that's true. But I mean that people have been saying like I'm in danger. If you burn the Quran, you're gonna get like shot or blown up or something.
Okay. Here's the thing.
Yeah.
Try burning the Quran outside. Okay, here in America, you can do whatever the fuck you want. You can burn the Bible outside, inside, whatever. But
Yeah.
try doing it inside. I'm sorry, outside.
Why not do it outside? It's just
Actually,
No,
no. You know what? Scratch that idea. Don't do it. Please don't do it. Don't take me seriously.
no. I mean, I would do, but it's just it would be difficult to get my laptop outside on the internet and then burn it. I'm not trying to get killed. I'm making a point about. Plus, someone sent it me in order for me to burn it. Do you know what I mean?
Well, you know what? Just forget that idea.
Yeah. Oh, evening chic shops. Good to see you. New name for midnight. Quarter to midnight. Yeah. Or 2 minutes to midnight, which is a 9 Maiden song. So what do you think about JG and his antics? I know he won't let you on.
I mean, I'm like, whatever. I kind of understand, kind of get that, but at the same time, it's like, oh, I'm sorry. They say are Eric and Natasha going to get insights because they're Christians?
Yeah,
You
exactly.
got
That's,
physically the implication.
yeah. He didn't.
Walhart is with Walhart here. It's already hard enough for them to get insights.
Yeah, that's why I left. Yeah. I mean, Nisha and Lineout were fine. I actually agreed with them. And then JG came in the side chat. Well, it was basically just Christians here. Well, fuck you, JG. You know what I mean?
Whatever, man.
Mm. It's not really important in the great scheme of things, but yeah, just annoying. But I've had a good day at prehab, by the way. I did this at the beginning, and this might seem very homosexual, especially for a guy in the north of England, but I'll do it again. It says, mirror me. What do you see when you look in the mirror? And I see someone is, and then you have to fill it in. I put friendly, kind, nervous, depressed, struggling with alcohol, ill for medical problems, intelligent, meaning well, but failing a lot. And then you pass it around the room, and the other people wrote what they think of you. So I got trying, very quiet, want to know you more. Always says good morning with a smile. Fighting his hardest to battle his anxiety. Very quiet, thoughtful, and genuine. So, yeah, I thought that was good. That's the kind of things we do. It's a little bit homosexual, you know what I mean? And I mean homosexual.
No, it's really not. Just because you think it is, doesn't mean it is.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't mean it like that. You know what I mean? I wasn't brought up like that to talk about feelings and stuff. Welcome, Glen7. Good to see you. Welcome, Missing Mod. By the way, I don't know if your Premier's finished yet, but I put a link to it in my side chat. And it was good. If anyone wants to go back and watch that, it'll be finished. Yeah, that was good. Welcome, Halsey. Good to see you.
Yep. Everyone else should join.
Yeah, join as well. Link should be pinned.
In the side chat.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep that. I've started keeping things that it's quite good. And we're going to a place on Thursday with photography. We're going to be doing photography for 4 hours. It's like Hay Hall, it's called, in Wigan. It's like a big mansion house, with parks and everything. And yeah, so that's going to be good.
It's the Wild Hearts.
Feelings are gay. Yeah.
No.
And just for Halsey, I'll do it again. I don't know why. This is what we've been doing at Prehab today. It says, mirror me, what do you see when you look in the mirror? I see someone is, and this is me filling it in. Friendly, kind, nervous, depressed, struggling with alcohol, ill from medical problems, intelligent, meaning well, but failing a lot. And then you pass it around the room, and the other people fill in what they see. And it says, I see someone who is trying, very quiet, want to know you more, always says good morning with a smile, fighting his hardest to battle his anxiety, very quiet, thoughtful, and genuine. So, yeah, I thought that was good. But there were some really, really, really good ones. Do you know what I mean?
Yep.
Where what people wrote and everyone else wrote was the exact opposite. Do you know what I mean? It was like a really good thing.
Transformers more than meets the eye.
That is true. Sometimes it can be a sports car. Sometimes it can be not a sports car. Sorry. Prefab, the place where drinks are 0%. No, it's prehab. Yeah. Not prefab, that's something different. Yeah. But the drinks are 0%. It's coffee and tea. Basically. Yeah. Yes, it is Sammy. Yes, we're very much joining. Link is in the side chat. Although it's not going to go on for that long. I've got to be in bed in about an hour or an hour and a half, something like that. So if you want to join, join me. I don't have to be up super early. It's only like 8:30 in the morning. I have to be there for 10 o'clock. So. I'm going to try and do a full week this week because I've been off a couple of days the last few weeks because, yeah, I've had stomach problems. So. Oh, welcome, Azo. Good to see you. How's it going? Smurfs. I don't get the Smurfs reference. I know what they are, but I don't know. I'm a blind bastard. Oh, that's cool. My mum's just had cataract surgery on both her eyes. And I thought it was just to get rid of the cataracts. But apparently, it also makes your eyes better. Like they put actual new lenses in. Do you know what I mean? Oh, welcome, Dwayne. Good to see you, man.
Hello, you little bastard.
Little bastard.
You little bastard. I can see you. I didn't have my freaking glasses on. I put prefab instead of prehab.
Oh, yeah. I'm
I'm
not
trying-
Good to see you. Oh yeah, you don't have a. Oh, what am I thinking? Let's
You
get
know,
that.
you know,
Right.
bastard. I'm gonna start talking like all you bastards.
Good day, you bastard.
You bloody twats.
What? Right, you are both moderators. That was a shocking oversight on my part.
Oh, sorry. I don't mean to be cussing on your theist channel.
That was classic.
Oh crap! I gotta go do two at once. Hey, bestie again. Damn it! I'm gonna have to be. Ooh, damn it! Ed's gonna be mad. No, he ain't gonna be mad. But I forgot Ed's streaming too. Oh well, I can multitask like Gigi does.
Oh, Ed, who's Ed?
The rabbit atheist.
Oh, yeah. I think I'll just sub to him.
Yeah, he does a lot of deconstruction stuff, and we just joke around a lot. And I mean,
Yeah.
theists are allowed, but there's certain ones that aren't, like pre-suppers. No. It's funny because Mom was over there once, and I forgot to warn everybody that she was under a different name. And Martin, which I understand, he's had a lot of trauma. Not necessarily with, or maybe it is connected with religion or whatever it is, but he's pretty quick triggered and nailed her right away.
Yeah. Can I just say hello to Spooky Bedher? And it is day 5 of Spooky Bedher's birthday week. But if anyone's got a link to that stream, what's going on, I'll put it in the side chat and make sure that I'm subscribed as well. I think I am, but yeah,
Yeah, I get it.
that sounds cool.
Oh, the rabbit. There you are, buddy. Yeah, we have. Matter of fact, I got to pay tribute to Fangs, which is you have to be part of the channel to understand that. But it's kind of like Lisa the Rainbow Giraffe and a few other channels and their little things.
Yeah.
Whose channel is it?
The rabbit atheist. I about got it. He's, obviously, he's an atheist, but somehow we went from the rabbit to wabbit. So it's the wabbit atheist. So they've come up with Fangs, which is like the anti-theist rabbit that goes after everything we have, and everything's like vegetable related. Where there's, I know it sounds kind of dumb until you really get into it, but it's a lot of fun. I killed Earl that did a lot of, or I think all of the drawings and stuff and the concepts, and adds onto it with other people's thing. But like the Pope Tomato, or Pope Tomato.
Tomato.
Yeah.
Oh no, I wasn't subscribed either. Yeah, thanks a lot. And everyone subscribed. Yeah, but it's just to be clear, it is the rabid atheist, like rabid, like foaming at the mouth, rather than rabbit.
Right. His real actual last name is Raby, but you add a D to it, and it's, or a Y, I guess. Wait,
Yeah.
No, you add a D to it, and it's rabbit. So yeah, it's the rabbit eighth. I thought it was kind of cute when I first found him, and yeah, I've been there for 2 years now. I was actually his first Patreon. Again, there's a lot of channels. I was like the first, Patreon member.
Yeah.
And he's about the last one that I actually am part of for various reasons. Wait,
So is there any hot chicks at the prehab wild?
Not to get myself in trouble in case any of them are watching. There were a couple, yeah. I was talking to one. She got the same bus home as me today. So I was talking to her for about 20 minutes. Yeah, she's quite nice. Yeah.
Get yourself stuck in, lad.
Nothing's happening at the moment, but yeah, there's potential there.
But you aren't really on the best start of.
Well, at least I know they're drunks as well. So, all right.
If we go on a date, we're gonna have to go to a smoothie bar.
Welcome, Bojo. Good to see you. Yeah, someone actually suggested, like everyone in prehab, like there's about I said 10, 12 people there, like every day.
Yeah.
We should set up like a Facebook like group or something, and like meet up outside of prehab as well. Do you know what I mean? Like,
That's it. You can support each other then.
Yeah. So
Definitely, mate.
I think that's a good idea.
It is. It's a good idea, isn't it? Yeah. Can all support each other and that if you have like a group chat and that.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
Midnight's been abducted.
Yeah, he's been raptured. Yeah.
Why masterly?
If Midnight gets raptured, I'll be pretty pissed off if I don't. You know?
He's not going first.
Yeah.
Well, I definitely need to start wearing glasses, but I need some new glasses. Like,
Yeah.
I've
Oh,
got to
yeah. Sorry.
try and
Like I
get
said-
an appointment.
Yeah, my mum's just had cataract surgery.
Oh,
But
she.
I thought it was just to get rid of the cataracts, then she would go back to needing her old glasses. But apparently, when they do it now, they get rid of the cataracts and put new lenses in. So it's like having glasses, so she doesn't need glasses anymore. I thought that was very good. Yeah.
Makes it worthwhile having it done, really. Then.
Yeah. It's all like on the NHS, so it's all free and that.
She recover quick.
Yeah. It was. She was actually away while they put like, like local anaesthetic in.
Oh yeah.
But they just hold your eyelids open with like matchsticks or that kind of thing. I mean, yeah, you totally awake and they just peel the cataracts off, put you a new lens in, and then just put the laser back on without the cataract.
I definitely want to be asleep for that.
Yeah, I would. Yeah. But apparently, she just said it was like uncomfortable, not painful or anything, just not comfortable.
That's it. And if you're awake and they're messing with your eyes, like where you meant to look.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Exactly, yeah. Close your eyes.
So am I the
Which is a bit
foreigner
odd.
on this stream then, is what I'm getting? Because I speak real English?
You're the only one that does.
This is a masterclass in British accents. Yeah.
Yeah. Northerner.
Actually, you all live like about 30, 40 miles away from me, don't you? Yeah, the accents are so different.
Yeah.
People from Newcastle have a very noticeable accent. I mean, people from Manchester do as well, but the difference is notable over only like 30, 40 miles. It's very...
Oh, I can change within that space of like 40 mile.
Yeah.
Just the accent change.
Yeah, I'm still waiting for Manchester to get a soccer team. When's that going to happen?
Don't make me think. You know what I mean? Fingers on the trigger.
Are you Manchester United or are you Manchester
United, yeah.
City? Yeah, okay.
Liverpool, really?
Yeah. No.
He's setting up his own football team with prehab.
Oh, they're actually doing five-a-side. Wigan Athletic are doing a tournament, and they're actually setting up a five-a-side team. So I might join that.
No champagne to celebrate though, mate.
Yeah.
It'll have to be flirted from it.
I'll call free champagne. Yeah.
Water down the circle.
Just pop, basically. Yeah.
Sprite.
White spot. Yeah. Oh,
That'd be good.
Walter has no sense of geography. He and Dwayne are more like 150 miles. I admit that. I don't have any sense of geography. I thought
I'm not too good with geography neither.
Yeah, I kind of shorten things. I thought Manchester and Liverpool were like.
It's only up the road.
Yeah. It's in the north. That's close enough. You
It's
know?
up the road. Up yonder.
Oh, cheers, Roger. Go see.
Yeah, I'm trying to do. I'm not very good at multitasking. I'm trying to do Ed and this one at the same time, and just do text on Ed's. And they're talking about Dan McClellan, and it's kind of funny because just the other day, Maud debunked Dan McClellan, at least in her mind.
All right. Yeah, I'm gonna get that up for myself actually. Live night. Just see the side chat on that.
Oh, they don't even know. Remember, doesn't know who Missing Maud is? What the heck, guys?
I met him the other day on what's he called? B.S. Lewis's, I think. That's the first time I've seen the Rabid Atheist on B.S. Lewis's. Yeah, he seems like a good guy. Yeah,
that's kind of. I think that's where the rabbit thing really took off. To be honest.
Yeah.
Dan McClellan, yeah, he is. I mean, actually, and Martin just trying to go after him because he's a Mormon, but he doesn't. He went after. He's went after the Book of Mormon, not just the Bible too. So, I mean, that's what I like about him. He's a theist, but he's very open-minded and honest. He cares about integrity, and then his beliefs are separate from that. Give me a second. I'll tell you how many people are subbed to his channel. I mean, yeah, he's pretty. Oh, it's over here.
Yeah, I'm trying to multitask as well. Just saying, hey.
I'm gonna put this in there just in case anybody wants to check it out. Yeah, he doesn't have very many subs, really, only 154,000. So no, he's not very popular.
Oh yeah, just 154,000. Yeah, I've got like 80. Yeah, poor guy.
You getting that?
I put that link in there for Dan McClellan.
Wild would have more if it was just his chair, though.
That's true. Yeah, my chair gets more views than me. When I'm not here, I actually get more views.
Yeah, I may actually stream tonight with Maud, so she can debunk more of my favorite scholars, because I don't stand a chance against her. No, you win, Maud.
I'm back in the store. Who's that? Sorry, Make. Is that another one?
Oh, wrong one. No, that's Dan McClellan, the Mormon scholar.
All right.
Just one of the many, Bible. I mean, he's got quite a few degrees.
Yeah.
So he's one of some of the scholars that I follow. I've got a couple of theist ones that I don't agree with, but I still like both sides of the arguments. Just
it's always good.
Yeah.
Right. I've subbed to him. Yeah, that's cool. Cheers. The Rabbit is one of my biggest fans.
Yeah. I think we're all some of Spooky's biggest fans.
Yeah, I think everyone is.
At least in his mind, like Maud's debating skills.
Yeah. But I think Mormonism is like one of the easiest religions to kind of debunk, and it's obviously made up.
For me, it's easy to not even refute, to dismiss.
Yeah.
Because really, to me, the Mormon Jesus is nothing more than Superman coming from another planet.
Yeah.
Exactly. Because every planet has a god, or you can become a god of your own, planet. It just, that's a bit much.
Kryptonite.
Yeah.
I
And
have
some guy sticking his head in a bag and reading from so-called gold plates that no one ever saw.
Don't you believe that Jesus and Lucifer are brothers or something?
Yeah, exactly.
yeah.
That's what is it?
I
Yahweh
have
or
a-
Elohim is the father.
Talk about-
Jehovah. Jehovah's the father.
Yeah.
Then he had two sons. Jesus and Satan. And Satan had a problem with basically Jesus being the favorite, the way I remember it. But don't quote me.
Yeah, I have a joke about the Mormons. You should never trust a convicted con man with a magic hat.
Yeah.
You know? That's the rule.
But see, even as an atheist, I just don't.
I
To me, even regular religion is just as far out there. You've got your talking donkeys, you've got your talking
Oh, I
mom.
love a talking donkey.
Yeah. I think the only thing what makes Mormonism different is just because it was so recent. Like, I think that's why it's so easy to debunk. The claims are just as just
It's
as
when a
weird.
lot of new religions during the Enlightenment popped up. I mean, the SDAs, the Jehovah Witnesses, I believe Christian Scientists. If I remember right, don't quote me on the Christian Science. They're just
Wait a second. I mean,
Right.
no being funny,
What about-
but how do you know about Jehovah's Witnesses?
Sorry.
Because they keep knocking on my door.
Yo, bro, I'm just trying to understand. So, like,
Hey, what about Jehovah's Witnesses? That's my forte.
yeah, but how do you know
How do I know what?
about Jehovah's Witnesses?
Because I almost became one, and I walked away 2 weeks before I was to be dipped at the Dayton, Ohio convention, like in '98.
Did you
So
did
you
you
were-
ever
you-
get a sore hand knocking on people's doors?
I actually enjoyed doing that because I'm so. I got the fun off.
my idea for Jehovah's Witness hell is
Wait.
just Jehovah's Witnesses walking around hell knocking on loads of doors.
Oh,
and just never
wait.
getting an answer.
Okay.
What'd you say?
Yeah,
That Jehovah's Witness hell? Is that what you said?
So
Nah,
what I'm
you-
saying is,
You sound hella convincing, okay?
Yeah, because
You
Jehovah's
always-
Witnesses don't believe in a literal hell. They believe in soul sleep.
No,
and
you sound
annihilation
stupid at the
afterwards
moment, bro.
if you don't make the cut.
Simon, don't make me kick you. Don't come on my panel and tell someone the shit. What did you just say?
I'm not trying to be rude. I'm just saying,
Well, you are being. Stop it.
okay, I appreciate that. But dude is talking some madness, you know what I'm saying? And make you
He's talking about. Yeah, but he's talking about. He's talking about.
Somebody translate? I don't
he
understand.
he said he went to a convention.
No, I did not say I went to a convention, Simon. Listen, I said I walked away 2 weeks before I was to be dipped as a Jehovah Witness at the Dayton, Ohio
What's
convention.
dipped? What
I
does that-
wasn't at the convention, even though I went to conventions.
What,
for 2 years
what's-
prior to that, but I was never dipped.
what does dip mean?
Baptized.
I love being dipped.
Depends what she looks like and how much of a tip she wants. 'Cause I'm a virgin.
Oh, bro. Bro.
Yeah, it's just because we know about religion and we've researched into. I've researched into Jehovah's Witnesses and Mormons. It doesn't mean I'm not now. I believe any of it. Azor doesn't believe any of it. I presume.
I
I'm
used to
atheist
be
now. That's what
I used to be a
that's-
Jehovah's Witness, but I didn't know what the religion was. I just used to knock on people's door and run.
That's something different. Knock it over, wasn't it?
I didn't stay around anymore.
Wow.
Wow, I got a new cult I follow. Believe on knocking on doors.
You can't even say that because you're so interested in your own fanaticism. You know what I'm saying? That's
It's
crazy.
not. No, it's not his own fanaticism.
Can you even spell fanaticism, Simon?
Yo, I'm a lawyer, bro. Don't even play around.
I don't
with me.
care if you're Jesus Christ himself. I ask you, can
I'm
you know
Jesus
how to
Christ
spell it?
himself. What the fuck? Ah!
The Mormon
You gonna play around with me? I
Now we
represent.
now we got John.
You just
Crown
chat shit.
Yeager
You know,
and his,
no,
trying to go after
I'm
evolution.
not-
They
I'm
obviously
the
have
man,
no idea what
nigga.
evolution is.
I'm the dude. Don't worry about it.
You
know
the
what I'm
dude.
saying?
No. Maud's the dude. Her parent's bigger than yours.
Mm.
Right, I'm currently making a drink, but Simon has it. I'm gonna remove you just for now.
Oh,
Don't say the N word on my channel.
Oh, you took my fun away.
No, you said the N word.
Your channel, Wild Heart, whatever you want. I'm just playing.
I'll be right back.
All right. Yes, I am
Yeah,
a
buddy.
Catholic. I was raised Catholic, but I'm not Catholic now. Heck to the no.
Jehovah's. I have them come around mine all the time. Honest. I'm
Yeah,
sure
I'm
they want to
black.
move in.
Yeah, I'm blacklisted. Even though I'm not what they consider an apostate, they still don't, come to my house because of my little time there. Because I did a lot of, back when I even cared, a lot of pseudo Christian cult awareness before I actually decided I was actually an atheist for sure.
They come
That
more
was
than
years
mail.
afterwards.
They come here more than the mailman.
Yeah. Well, at least pick out your mail out of the box and bring it to you.
That'll be the next thing they do.
Yeah. I mean, and really, if anybody doesn't want them coming to their house, next time they get there, just tell them to take you off of their visitation list, and you generally they won't bother you again.
Prophesied me bills.
Yeah, you're broke. There you go. I'm a prophet.
Sign me up, mate.
Yeah.
Sign me up.
Yeah, I gotta check out.
Simon Heretic has left. I've dealt with him before. He's annoying. I'm not saying that, but he is. Yeah, there's many things wrong with him. I don't like him. So.
There's many things wrong.
Anyway, welcome, John Yeager. Good to see you.
Welcome.
And Come Insider, which is a brilliant name.
Well, at least here in the States, we have, literally, I'm not joking. It's a, what is it? Dick Insider. It's a legitimate company that makes apple cider.
Die and rise again, then we will believe thou art the Christ.
I was married 3 times. I died 3 times and rose. So yeah, I am Jesus Christ, John.
I have a problem with that because even if Jesus Christ did die and rise again, that doesn't make him necessarily the Son of God. Do you know what I mean? There's no link.
My respect to that would be there's 8 other people in the Bible, not including the graves that opened up when Jesus rose.
Yeah.
So Jesus dying and raising isn't special.
Yeah. There's no link towards God.
And now Maud's never going to talk to me again. She's, oh God, he's going right back to that damn atheist, making fun of Jeebus when he's going to heaven.
My company is legitimate. Like my logo is Muppet. Oh, I can't see that well enough.
Oh, so you're related to Dick Insider, right?
Yeah.
Are you from America? Are you?
It's an offshoot. Yeah.
Yeah. Don't do that. Unless she's had her plumbing removed.
I got that.
The parent company is Dick Insider. Yeah, Come Insider is a.
I know somebody that makes funnel cakes with all natural filling.
Oh yeah, does that sell well?
Ask Maud. He makes them.
Them fighting.
You haven't been around when she talked about making, her funnel cakes. And close your ears, Maud. You know how moist they are.
Sounds like you went all the way. Anyway, this is getting into weird territory. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I almost thought for a second that was Maud. That was the cider. Not that she would ever, realize what that meant. It's only wholesome names for her, like crotch burns. He never read the tag, shaking my hand. Jesus raises himself from the dead and prophesies he would do something. Show me that prophecy, John.
Yeah, plus Jesus
didn't fulfill it.
Oh, that's a good question as well. Did Jesus raise himself from the dead? I know they believe that Jesus is God.
Oh, yeah, Rochcrot or whatever, Rochburn.
If God didn't exist, but Jesus did, would he be able to raise himself from the dead? It's
Really
weird.
bad that?
The Trinity thing. Yeah, the Trinity doesn't work basically. It's logically and fatally flawed.
I mean, really, I get better arguments out of Mod than this John guy. I mean, literally. 'Cause,
Yeah.
I mean, that's so cliche-ish. I mean, it really is. I mean, just because she makes fun of the proto chicken and the egg doesn't mean that, she's not right, but she's not.
Yeah.
My crotch burns. I keep telling her about the same cream I try to tell Daniel about in that burning bush.
Oh, that's a great name.
Yeah.
My crotch burns.
I've
Yeah,
seen
that's
some
when she went
burning
into the
bushes
rabbit
before.
atheist and he got shut down, or she got shut down really quick. Not because of the name, because of, I think she asked Ed if he farted or something. Can't remember what got her timed out.
Have you ever farted when sneezing, asking for a friend?
Yeah, that can end badly. Yeah, I've done it. Yeah.
Man, you atheists are heathens.
Dirty atheists. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm God's favorite, so I'm already in, no matter what I believe. But you guys are, ooh. I might put a good word in for you, but I don't know.
Yeah, I have a whisper in God's ear. Yeah, that he doesn't have because he's a spiritual being. Yeah.
It's like that one that has Jesus hugging Pike that Gigi made.
Oh yeah.
Version is, and my version of it is it's Jesus whispering in his ear that Timmy Tears is totally wrong.
Show me on the door where Jesus touched you. Like that.
I'm not going that far. I can't be a good Christian if I listen to this crap.
I think that ship has sailed. I don't think you're a good Christian.
Can you hear this?
Okay, well, can I address something real quick with John? And Mod, close your ears. Like I said, show me a prophecy that he fulfilled, because he did not raise in 3 days. He raised in about, what's it, a day and a half or 2 days, if you count it correctly. So, he wasn't in the tomb for 3 days and 3 nights like Jonah. So that prophecy goes by the wayside, John. Try another one. I learned that from Mod. She taught me that counter apologetic, argument.
Will you be live in like an hour? Possibly, yeah. I've got to get to bed sometime tonight, but yeah, in an hour. Yeah. Join Jaeger.
He's going around knocking on doors tonight.
Mod, did you really want to stream tonight? I never know what she's serious.
She had a premiere before. I don't know if she's having a stream, but
did you see the Woohoo interview she did?
Yeah, I was watching
at least part of it. And we never got to see the ending. I think she's trying to, monetize your channel by forcing us to pay for it to see the ending, because it cut off all of it short. Okay, I'll after I go eat here in a little bit, which is really short because Mom's making it. I'll make. Whatever it is, I'll make a.
Did you know that? Azor, did you know that Wild used to be Amish?
Yeah, in the old days.
Is that like a trans Amish person, or
he's just learning how to use the phone and that now? He used to have a cup and string.
If I can interrupt on admin grounds, there's someone backstage. Dub, I think I've met them before, but I'm gonna have to do.
Use your screen thing, man.
Oh, Dub. Yeah, I know Dub. All right, I've seen Dub.
What do you know, Dub? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, how's it going, Dub? Go say.
It's going good. I think we've been in some squabbles before, but that's all right. I think we could squish that.
I moved the goalpost, John. I really did, didn't I? I didn't say anything. I just said that John 2 was at 19 wasn't fulfilled. I gave you, my counter argument. I see your, what's that? Basically a bullshit reply, because you can't refute that he didn't die or he wasn't dead for 3 days, like the prophecy says, like Jonah, 3 days and 3 nights. Go back and count it, buddy. Then come at me and say I'm moving the goalpost.
Yeah, no, I was right. It wasn't 3 days. It was 1.5 or something. Yeah.
I know this is my first stream like Mod's was today, but I'm correct here where she kind of screwed it up.
I need to go back and recount that, because I don't think you're correct, but that's okay.
See you, Cider.
Oh.
Don't disagree with me just because you know I'm right.
And John Yeager, when you do
Okay.
join, if you do join in an hour, don't quote the Bible at me. Being an atheist, I don't trust the Bible as a reliable source. So
No,
quoting the
so
Bible won't do
critical
anything.
reasoning. The Bible's true because the Bible says so. Yeah, great defense.
Well, hold on. Okay, so
I know it.
you're
I know,
saying-
Mod.
what-
I'm just saying.
Hold on.
I'll
What
go
are you
at it.
claiming? What are you claiming? You're claiming that it was 2 days? Is that what you're claiming?
Absolutely.
It was
2 days
about
or
one.
less.
Yeah, if you look at how,
You're saying
yeah.
it was
How do
fine
you get
then,
3
okay.
days and 3 nights, Dub? You know, then we can go from there. Maybe I'm just incorrect in my, you know, the way I tell time, or you know, look at the
I mean, it
calendar.
could be. I'd have to go back and look at these things specifically.
Right.
but
Oh, I'm
then
not trying to be
again-
confrontational. I'm just saying, you know, show me, and maybe I am wrong, but I doubt it because I've read it.
No, I've read that before. I think it's
Yeah.
right.
Go through
I'll look
Let's
it
go
up.
through it. Let's go through it slowly if you could, and then maybe I can be either proven wrong or maybe I have something to add to it. Let's go through
Yeah,
it
that's
slowly
fair.
though. Where is it?
Hey, I'm just going to do a Google search. How long was Jesus in the tomb?
Oh,
Unless
no,
I just
Google
look at-
search. I want to actually see it. I want to follow along with you.
Yeah, but I have to do a Google search first.
Yeah, he doesn't have a program. I've got a program that I've already got it popped up for me, but
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Can you share your screen?
hold on for one
I'll
second.
do that.
Oh, actually, that was the John 2:19, but it's still within the neighborhood. Got it.
Oh, according to the Gospels, he was crucified on Friday and buried before sundown. He remained in the tomb throughout Saturday, the Sabbath, and rose on the Sunday morning.
Well, here we go.
It was Friday to Sunday morning.
That's not 3 days and 3 nights, is it?
Before sundown, that's 2 nights at most. Yeah, definitely wasn't 3.
This is really quick.
Okay.
John, but Dub, I'm putting in here the verse that I'm talking about, Matthew 12:40. For as Jonah was 3 days and 3 nights in the belly of a huge fish, so the Son of Man will be 3 days and 3 nights in the heart of the earth. That's where I'm going from. If that helps you any.
Okay. So then, for the sake of argument, let's just say that what you're saying is going to be on par. All right. So then let's look at Matthew 27:45.
Okay, 27:45. Give me 1 second. I'm not really quick with this.
Yeah, if I can just
27.
yeah, he remained in the tomb throughout Saturday, the Sabbath, and rose on Sunday morning. The phrase 3 days and 3 nights is often referenced, but the counting of days in Jewish tradition can lead to some confusion regarding the exact hours. This timeline aligns with the traditional Christian beliefs surrounding the events of Easter.
Genesis. Matthew 27.
Yeah,
No wonder it
so
looks so weird.
at least there's confusion about it. You know what I mean?
I mean, I'm still going to say it's 3 days and 3 nights because that's what he said. But then, if indeed, I will grant you what you want to argue for the sake of argument. And then, if indeed you want to stick to that, then let's look at Matthew 27:45 for a second. You might think I'm full of
No, I've never done that before. Well,
sorry, can I just read this out first? This is from BibleInfo.com. How long was Jesus in the tomb? The Bible does not give a precise answer, but it implies that he was there for less than 72 hours. Learning about the biblical facts, Jewish customs. Yeah. And the statements in Matthew 12:40.
okay.
So 72 hours. What's that? 24:48.
3 days.
Yeah, so he's saying
But
it
you
was
could actually, to play devil's advocate here, you could actually be in the ground for 3 days and 3 nights and not, add up to 72 hours. By 2 hours, if that makes sense to you.
no, it's saying it's less than 72 hours.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah.
But it could still be 3 days and 3 nights technically.
Yeah, you could class a night as not a full night. You could class a night as 3 hours if he's been 3 hours, like from 12 a.m. till 3 a.m. and still say that's night. It doesn't matter about the hours. It just means did he pass over that point?
Right. Okay, you said Matthew 27:45, Dub, where it's talking. Listen there. It's titled the death of Jesus. From noon until 3 in the afternoon, darkness came over the land. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
12:40 it says here. Matthew 12:40.
12.
A careful study of the context of Matthew 12:40 will show that the central thought and meaning of the Bible text is Jesus' reproof of the unbelief of his critics. The 3 days and 3 nights mentioned in Matthew 12:40 have confused some people because of the supposed difference. I'll have to go into them, but yeah, I think it's Matthew 12:40.
Yeah, so I'm actually going back a little further just to see when he was actually crucified, because or when at the crucifixion, at least in here, it's listing like 27:32 as where it starts the crucifixion of Jesus, and then all the way to 44, and then at 45 it picks up the death.
Yeah.
So I'm just wondering if in the death, if it's where it says how long he was there. Surely, it's been so long since I looked at this. Like, I'm not going to, say, oh no, King of the Jews.
But I don't think it actually matters, because whether it was 1.5 days or 3 days, even Jesus resurrecting doesn't prove that God had anything to do with it.
Well, I mean,
Like,
it definitely matters, because if you could prove that he is incorrect, then you're proving him a false prophet, right? So,
well, he's already been proven that. I mean, technically, because he said no one here standing will taste death, or death. Every single one of them died after Jesus died. Not single one of them,
you're talking. Hold on, because you're talking spiritually versus the fleshly. So you need to be able to differentiate.
But see, you've got to prove that there's a difference between the two. The text doesn't say spiritually; it doesn't say physically. So really, you're arguing from silence, just as So I'll concede just for debate that I'm arguing from silence if it doesn't say, either or.
Okay, so I get your point, but then it also speaks about people who can speak, but then other people won't be able to understand them because they aren't really assessing what the person is saying spiritually. So that is saying that there's a fleshly way of speaking and a spiritual way of speaking. So if we have one example there, then we also have an example. It's almost like saying, did Jesus die? Yes, he did, in the fact that he is 100% human, but 100% God at the same time. God can't die. So spiritually, he did not die. So you have, in essence, answer.
Okay, Doug, let's kick it back. You cannot, you're asserting, you're presupposing, you're using the Bible as your evidence that God can't die. I don't concede that God can't die. I mean, obviously I don't believe in him, but if I'm going to read the text, then I can kind of see where it's implied. But just because it says words in the Bible's a claim. It's not the evidence, for that claim that you're giving. No, everything we can talk about, how long he was in the ground and all that, because that is in the text. I can play devil's advocate on that and be fair.
No, my channel. Shut the fuck up. W are saying that it must be true that Jesus was in the ground because of something it says earlier in the Bible. You can't do that. Like Azor said, that's just using the Bible to prove the Bible. That's circular reasoning. It doesn't work. He must have been in the ground for 3 days because he said he was going to be in the ground for 3 days. That's not how logic works. That doesn't prove anything. It's just circular reasoning. You're using the Bible to prove the Bible.
We need here because she'll destroy all of us in this debate. And I don't even consider this a debate; it's a discussion, really.
Yeah, it is. It's a discussion, but the problem is that you have to use the Bible to prove the Bible. Now, if I said
that's circular reasoning. No, you don't, and you can't.
Well, for a second, to a point, he's right. That's why I said, if he's going to argue, and I'm not trying to talk like you're not here, Dub. I'm just saying, if he's going to say God doesn't exist, that's one thing he's using the Bible for. We're talking now, as far as the 3 days and 3 nights, what the text says, not necessarily what's true or not true. It's what the text says.
I would love to talk about what the text says. So what we have to do, I asked you to go to Matthew 27:45.
And I'm right there now. That's what I said. But I think you need to go. I'm trying to figure out where it started because, like I said, I'll read it or we can put it up on the screen. Here, I'll just share it. I don't use the KJV. If you want, I can use the KJV for this. If you have personally, I use the NSAB, but I use NIV on this one because I can look at the Greek words on the NIV. It's the only, but it's a Bible gateway. It's the only thing that I can look at the Greek or the Hebrew through. It doesn't.
Can I just apologize to the side chat? I'm in different tabs and doing all share screen, and sorry if I missed it. But carry on.
let me know when you want me to hop in. I would like you to first kind of go through things. If you want to skip this part, that's fine. Go through things to where you're counting days and then show with proof. Or you can skip this if you'd like, but show with proof that it was 2
I would
days.
like,
That's what
I would like to try and skip to the end and say, even if Jesus was in the tomb for 3 days and he resurrected, how do you demonstrate that that is because God did anything? Why
Okay,
is there just
perfect.
no explanation? Yeah.
Perfect. I have your question, so please allow me to answer, please.
there you go.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, good. So now, if you read Matthew 27:45, and you say that there's only 2 days there, read Matthew 27:45. Now you have to tell me what the darkness is that happened there, because if you go back to Genesis 1:1, darkness is described. So that can be considered a day in itself. Period.
If so now we're
Yeah, but that's using the Bible.
and if I want to go even further back, I can get the verse in Genesis that says a day to God is like 1,000 years.
Yeah. So Jesus from the tomb.
I can apply it that way. As far as the Matthew 27:45, is that where you want to start?
No. I don't want to divert too far into this, because introduction of new or of other verses. Let's try to just address the
right.
the
But
verse
you
that
just put
I'm-
in Genesis to try to justify the darkness there.
Yes,
Yeah.
because darkness is described as nighttime in
But not at
Genesis.
3 o'clock. It says it right there, from noon to 3.
I know, exactly. That's what I'm saying. There is a
Well, don't-
conundrum here.
Dub, can you not see the problem? You're presuming that the Bible is true. You're using Genesis to
No.
justify the Gospels. You can't do that.
Well,
Hold
let
on,
him go just for a little bit, 'cause I'm trying to follow. I'm going to kind of understand where he's trying to go, maybe, but I want to make sure that I don't want to presume that he's going somewhere that he's
Yeah.
not. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then again, I mean, it depends. 3 in the afternoon, noon to 3. Is that Roman time, or was that the Jewish time? Because it was 2 different times. And that's the thing as a Christian that we argued for to try to stretch this out a little further.
That's where we're going wrong. It's as a Christian. I'm not a Christian. I don't believe any part of the Bible is necessarily true. Dub is presuming that the Genesis account is true, and then using the fact that he believes it's true to justify the Gospels. And from an outsider's point of view, I don't presume that Genesis is true, so it justifies nothing. It can't. It can't do.
Wildheart, hold on, man. Okay, like, please entertain me, because it's your show, and
Okay.
That's what I'm trying to get. I'm trying to get him to see so you can get there, Dub. But Wildheart is Wildheart, and I'm me, I guess.
No, I know what you're saying, but I'm saying I'm totally selfish, and from my point of view, saying something in Genesis to prove something in the Gospel doesn't
You're
work.
making your point of view known, Wildheart, and your point of view is that the Bible doesn't matter. So then I get your point of view. You're just going to kind of keep repeating it. So then allow your guests to kind of be like, well, let me kind of play swords with you, bro. Let's play swords. But you have to allow the other person to actually speak, so that your audience gets a chance to go, oh, well, this is kind of interesting. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah. Sorry, I'll let you go. Sorry, I got that. Thank you.
So here, and then after that, the other person addressed what I was saying, because you'll stay on that point. But Wildheart, I do want to say that you can go back all the way to Genesis, and the basis for that is John 17:5, where Jesus is talking about the glory he once had. Well, before the earth was. So then Genesis 1:1 is the only place you can go, really, because that's talking about before the earth was. So he's a part of Elohim. That's why I believe in the Trinity. But that's justifying why I can use the New and the Old Testament to kind of explain each other.
But then I would push back and say Jesus is found nowhere in the Old Testament, and then disagree with you, because I don't believe in the Trinity. Even if I was a Christian, I wouldn't believe in it, to be honest.
That's fine. So, okay, but then I would go, how about Isaiah 43:11, and then Revelation 2:8, I think it is. He says he's the first and the last. In the Old Testament, what is the first and the last would be my question. Well, the only place you can look is back in the Old Testament to get the definition. And you see that God says he is the first and the last, the Savior. He's the only Savior. So then that means
Isaiah, because Yeah, because I love Isaiah just for the fact that there's so many so-called prophecies in it.
No, but I mean, we're kind of at that point. We're kind of like switching topics. I'd like to stay
Okay.
on the topic we were
I mean,
before.
I mean, you mentioned it. I'm saying okay, but first, I don't, I can't even play devil's advocate on there because there's nowhere in, like I said, Old Testament, Jesus is mentioned nowhere. I can tell you every proof text that a Christian will say, look, this proves the Trinity. Like God created us in our, in our image. That's a very bad verse to use to try to prove the Trinity, and a lot of theists or commentaries will say the same thing.
You sound like you've read the Bible. Okay.
Yes,
so then,
many times over. Not that I'm an expert.
So you're familiar with the part where basically the Israelites want to bring in a king, and then God says, you know what? Don't be ashamed of yourself. They wanted a king. I feel ashamed because I am their king, but they didn't want me as a king. Are you familiar with that? I forget who the first king was officially.
I couldn't even tell you that. I've never even thought about that. Just really quick in Isaiah 53, I'm guessing
wait. Let me make my point on that. Now, Jesus is called the King of Kings. So then, if that's the case, then and you believe like it's just the Father that's God. So if God is the King, and then we have a King of Kings, does that mean Jesus is above the Father?
Are you talking about the plaque that was put above Jesus's head when he was crucified?
That would be, you're talking about, he King of the Jews is what it says. So Isaiah 8:21 would be a good spot to go look at, because it says, when the people get parched and they're walking around the land and don't know where to go, they will look up and they will curse their God and their king. Isaiah 8:21.
8:21. Distressed and hungry, they will roam through the land, and they are famished. They will become enraged and looking upward and curse the king and their God.
Correct.
Okay, I can see the God, but the king doesn't mean anything. I mean, metaphorically, the king's higher than you. You're in a lower status than the king, so you would be looking up, metaphorically.
No, not metaphorically. That's physically. They put Jesus on the cross and he was lifted up.
Okay, but once again, you've got to tie Isaiah in with Jesus and not just only a verse and say, oh, look, this is Jesus.
Jesus said, if I am lifted up, then I will bring all men to me. Now, what does that mean?
You do realize that the writers of these texts in the New Testament knew the Old Testament and what it says, correct? Since they were Jewish? I mean, the first Christians were Jewish.
No, they actually didn't, and I can prove it to you.
Then why did Jesus and so many of them quote from the Old Testament, like Isaiah 7:14? Isaiah, I could go on and on and on.
But so your question was, the people of that day, they knew the Old Testament, so every claim that they would make, because they knew the Old Testament so well, they knew the law, they were attorneys, everything they said was correct. Is that what you're saying?
As Jews, they knew the Old Testament scriptures. That's what they followed before. Okay. What my point would be, what did they follow before Jesus showed up? And even after Jesus showed up, he didn't have the New King James Bible or the KJV or even the manuscripts in his back pockets, because they were not written yet, except for the Old Testament. So when you go into verses in the New Testament really quick, look in the footnotes, you'll get the cross reference from the New Testament to the Old Testament, trying to justify that, yes, this is a prophecy about Jesus.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. However, what we also can collect is things like, what does first and last mean? We can collect that information from the Old Testament. We don't need the cross reference, because we're like, what does that even mean? So then if we go to John 5:17-18, we can see the words Son of God, which means he's saying he is equal with God. What did they want to do because of that? And because they said he broke the Sabbath, which he explained he did not. And he can't, because he's the Lord of the Sabbath anyway. How can the Lord of the Sabbath break the Sabbath? But anyways, where does it say what the Son of God is? Well, you don't need to look anywhere else, not even in the Old Testament. It says it right there, because you're claiming the people knew what it meant. So I'll take their definition. I'll Okay.
Can I just briefly interrupt? And I know
Yeah,
I'm
go ahead.
saying the thing again. You can carry on after this. But this is what I mean. It just gets into you jumping about like all over the Bible.
It's what I
saying,
call
well,
Bible ping pong. I mean, not to be disrespectful, though, but that's really, look at this verse, so let's tie this one into there, and they're unrelated. It's like the Jehovah's Witnesses when they did their 1914, prophecy. It failed. Then they went back and got 5 unrelated verses, tossed it together, and realized, oh wait, he did return in 1914, but it was invisible. So do I say the Jehovah's Witnesses is right because they use Scripture to prove it?
it's pointless unless you can demonstrate that Jesus Christ resurrecting from the dead was something to do with God, even if it happened. This jumping about all over the Bible, trying to, well, this passage says this passage, it doesn't matter.
I mean, it's kind of like John is doing right now. He's trying to justify the 3 days and 3 nights, saying that part of the day is a day. Okay, I'll concede that one for you. But you still got to come up with the third night. I just read the scripture from the Christian Bible, the New Testament, that said, just like Jonah was in the belly of the fish for 3 days and 3 nights, so shall the Son of Man. Now, the one point that I do want to touch, Dub, towards you is you do realize that there are other people or angels that were also called Son of God.
Okay, I understand that. However, when you try to go into the Bible and you look at the specific uses of the word Elohim, then you can't really put it in the same category as Genesis 1:1. You do know that, right?
What does Genesis 1:1 have to do with anything? I guess that's maybe you're losing me on that part.
Because Genesis 1:1 and John 17:5, as I was trying to say earlier, but I don't know if you're hearing me, he is asking the Father, and he has to do this for a specific reason. He's asking the Father for the glory he once had before the earth was. You only have one place to look about anything before the earth was, right? Genesis 1:1.
I guess, yeah, I mean, I follow, but I just don't see the connection. Once again, to me, it's 2 unrelated, verses.
Are any
you got me
verses
lost. I
related?
guess I'm just not, and sorry, I mean, I'm not so quick as I used to be anyway. I mean, mentally.
That's fine.
Not to justify, or, if you beat me down, you beat me down. Mod does it all the time.
No, hey, listen, hey, Millhouse, I'm not trying to beat you down, bro. That's for sure. Because
Millhouse is actually wild hair. I make fun of him. I say Millhouse looks like you. Just call me Az or Teddy Bear or whatever you want to call me. It doesn't matter.
Millhouse is cool. I'll call you Millhouse.
All right, that's even better. Yeah, we're brothers, Wildheart.
I mean, but it's still, none of this stuff is easy to understand. I will tell you that. I mean, it's obvious.
Millhouse is Amish as well.
Go ahead. Yeah, see, the problem with me is I don't just go by, me reading it, my interpretation or my, interpretive lenses. And I, as an atheist, I don't have to negotiate, the Bible. But I do go to a lot of scholars. As a matter of fact, this is what we're doing tonight. Again, the other night, Maud asked me why I always say the Satan. So I showed her, at least one clip, and I could have had 50 of them, by quite a few people, why that was. She doesn't have to agree with what I do, but this is a scholar, even though she beat him down, stating this, that does this, for a living, has read this, is more well-versed, on and on and on. And it's a constant, theme there that, I don't know what my point of my story was. Sorry. Just lost.
Can just say hello to Bond and get to Ghost in the side chat. Good to see you. I'm just
Good to see you.
Hi, Gigi. And John Yeager saying, I wasn't. There's a lot going on. I'm not trying to avoid anything now, but
bloody buttered.
Join in, then I can argue with you in person. That would be.
But John, you're right back in the same issue that me and Dub were talking about. All right, I mentioned to him, you're trying to use the Bible to first prove or presupp, that what's in the Bible is true. And you can't use the Bible to prove the Bible. Whereas we're talking about a specific, thing that I'm conceding that let's go through the story and see what it really says about the 3 days and 3 nights. What I'm not quite getting is how we're bouncing, all over the place to try to prove that point. And maybe we should just go to, I think, what do you say, the Matthew 27 and just, read what it says, but you're still not going to get the 3 nights.
Let's do it.
The bigger problem is that all this is presupposing, I know I'm repeating myself, all this is presupposing that parts of the Bible are true. and anyone who's not a Christian doesn't accept that. You can argue amongst yourselves,
But it's
But-
trying to find out if it is true, though, isn't it?
but that's what I'm saying. The Bible can't demonstrate the Bible is true. If it says in the Bible
Well,
one thing,
how-
and then later it's reversed in the same book,
No,
That's
because
not
if, so,
Hey,
if,
listen now.
That's
if
not-
something's true, you should be able to find out independent of the claim.
exactly, yeah.
So
So using the Bible in one part to prove the Bible in another part doesn't. It
Yeah.
just doesn't
you
work.
can look independent.
Yeah, there is no independent.
Yeah, and the poor
Well,
little
then
John out
what
there,
it
you know,
becomes-
cherry picking. You know, you
What
need to read all the Bible, not one
No,
verse,
but
but not you, Dub. I'm
what it-
talking
what
about
it
John
becomes-
in track or sidetracks.
what I'm trying to say is what it becomes is someone's opinion versus another person's opinion. Then, and what good does that do?
Exactly.
And the,
Well, that's
and the thing
all
about
about-
it is, I'm in the really quick, Wildheart. You know, I'm in the camp that the Bible is not univocal, meaning that the Bible doesn't talk about Jesus from Genesis 1:1 all the way to Revelations 22. What is it, 18, or even let's say what a lot of Bibles have, the end. You know, no, I don't believe the Bible is univocal. It's
fine.
not a text; it's 66 text. Oh, go ahead.
Well, that's fine. At least we have a place to start because you're saying, well, I mean, maybe some of it's true. I don't even know, but I've read all of it, and I can say that I can show you spots where, again, the verse I already pointed out. So you can say
Right.
either
You're
that is or is
looking at
not
those
connected.
two. Then if that's the case, why is it that 10 Christians could look at the same thing that we're discussing and come up with 10 different things? If it's the word of God and it speaks to us, it sure ain't speaking very well, or we wouldn't have 10 different opinions on the same verse, or you wouldn't have 47,000 denominations. You know, plain and simple, the Bible isn't, clear cut. It's not univocal, or we wouldn't have these major issues even within other denominations. There's no way to reconcile that. Oh, go ahead, Wildheart. Sorry, buddy.
No, you're fine. Doesn't it say in the Bible that the Holy Ghost or the Holy Spirit is the giver of all knowledge? So why are there like 45,000 different denominations? The Holy Ghost is either giving the correct explanation to one church and no others, or something's going wrong.
And actually, we're going to touch into some of this tonight, Mod, if you don't care, because me and Carp walked through this a little bit because he was asking, what do you mean by univocality? What do you mean by? And I hope I didn't just shut my screen off. Oh, sorry. Yeah, I hit the wrong button. It's like everything's gone. What these terms mean and what I mean by them. Not that anybody has to agree with them, but I'm under the camp that if you're going to argue against, somebody's going to argue against evolution, at least have a basic understanding of it. You don't have to believe it, but at least, represent it. And that's what I'm trying to do, from what I read, from the text. Not that, I say, Dub, this is what you need to believe. But when I read it, this is what I get out of it. Hence, being an atheist.
The problem that you're going to encounter is I can tell you that have scientists always told you the truth. And so who told you about evolution? Were they not making up a fantasy tale?
No, not at
How
all.
do you
Because the difference between
No, I've got to insist. Going to course, thanks. As I'm well that tonight on TTOR show, he basically. But the evolution thing, that's a total just rabbit hole. It doesn't matter if you can prove evolution wrong today. It doesn't demonstrate that God exists. The whole evolution versus God thing is just nonsense.
Well, there's a big difference between two. Science is testable, repeatable, predictable, where the Bible isn't.
Yeah.
If
evolution was completely false, you would still then have to demonstrate that God was correct.
And I'll go back to
evolution false, and then God is correct by default.
Bro,
go ahead, I'll let you go because he said something.
Try not to be an echo chamber. If one of you says something, allow me to kind of have a chance to at least retort. So if somebody's saying that science always tells the truth, this, that, and the other one, how do we have COVID?
No.
Backing off on it now?
Dub, see, now you're misrepresenting what was said. We never said that it's always true. That's the good thing about science, that we find something better, we replace it with what we know, unlike religion. You're going to be like, John's a prime example. He's out here parroting what he heard in church. He can't back what he has to say about it, and he wants to resort to, ad hominems and straw men. No, I'm not going to even really engage with him because he's an idiot. Yes, I use an ad hominem, but He's an idiot.
Okay, I'll take what you're saying, but then so your beliefs are ever changing based on what somebody's telling you.
First off,
Now,
atheism isn't a belief system.
No.
Don't misrepresent me. Once again, at least have a basic understanding of what you're arguing about.
actually, it is.
Actually, it's not. Logically, it's not. Whichever way you want to go at this,
No, sorry. If I can explain, atheism is a single answer to the theistic question. Basically, you're an atheist if you don't believe God exists. It's not a worldview. It's not anything. If you don't believe that God exists, God exists, then you're an atheist. It's not a worldview. It's not anything. You have to get that you have to get that from somewhere else.
If you don't believe God exists, you're a Jehovah's Witness.
No, that's just not the right God. Yeah.
Hey man, that shit ain't funny, man.
There's a lot of Jehovah's Witnesses.
I can't even spell right now. Dodged. Or Knight's Dodge. There we go.
But atheism has nothing to do with science. It has nothing to do with evolution. It has nothing to do. Atheism is just, I'm not convinced that God exists. That's it.
Welcome back, I think, buddy.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Right. I just happened to see it.
Yeah, I'm on 2 rows now.
But Dub, really, if you want to stop by tonight, I mean, my channel, we don't do a lot of debating. It's more for fun, but we could have discuss this a little bit more because I've got to go eat. It's 10 after 7.
Yeah, no, thanks, but I'll pass. But there is a definition for what.
And
we're
thank you for passing.
No, I thank you for the offer, but got here. I should thank myself for passing. But anyways, there is a definition for anyone's viewpoint that cannot be proven, and I'm trying to figure out the word. I forget what it is, but because it's a little bit too big of a word, I guess, for my intelligence to.
And probably for me to even remember. I don't remember my name.
I think it's unjustified. If you can't demonstrate that any of your beliefs is true, it's just an unjustified
You
belief.
can't demonstrate yours either. That's the problem. And there's a specific word.
No, atheism isn't a claim. It's being not convinced that there is a God exists. We're not saying that God doesn't exist.
I mean,
We're just saying that he is. We're not making a claim, so we don't have to justify it. You're making a claim that God exists. We're just saying we don't believe you because there's not enough evidence.
If you cannot prove what you're saying, there's a specific word for it. You can't prove what you're saying, and you're saying I can't prove it either. At least I'm bringing evidence.
That's
nothing.
That's a two-quay fallacy, but it doesn't apply for this.
Are you trying to pick up the falsibility, or am I way off?
I'm trying to find.
It's a two-quay fallacy. Basically, you can't prove what you're saying.
Definition for this specific word where somebody has a belief. What would you say? Would you say?
Dub, do you understand? Let me explain. Dub, shush. Do you understand that there's a difference between saying God doesn't exist and saying I am not convinced that a God does exist? Can you see the difference? Atheists aren't saying God definitely doesn't exist.
It's like celibacy is a sex position, or not collecting something is collecting.
I'm sorry.
Sorry, I missed that.
I don't have. Where's Gigi? Does he have it? Because I'm not going to listen to Smokey Saint. I refuse to. If what happened, it'll come out afterwards. But me personally, I'm not going to platform or waste my time on a possible. We'll just leave it at that.
Good for you.
Yeah. I will go into talk to Smokey. Not on this one, but I will in the past. Just
I mean, to me, listening to that debate's like listening to Hitler, try to rationalize, what he did and prove it was the right thing to do. Nah, I ain't got time for that crap. I'd rather stream with Maud and have her kick me in a debate. And John, I never claimed to be a great debater. I just said, I think with Dub, I said, sorry, I do lose focus. Doesn't matter why, because every time I mention why, somebody wants to say I'm always bringing it up. But Chemo. I'm sorry, did I say that out loud?
No, but I'm saying I will join
Discuss
this
your beliefs a lot, Dub. You discuss
It's
your
called-
beliefs a lot,
it's called-
Dub.
Hold on, buddy. Okay, I found it. I just thought about it in my brain. Okay, I was trying to look it up on Google. It's called a postulate. A postulate is something that you believe in that you cannot prove is true or false. Now, you're saying God doesn't exist or you don't know. Whatever. It's still on the same side to me.
It's not the
Now,
same thing. No, that's where you're
Oh,
missing it.
No
Dub.
positive claim. Sorry, bud.
No, it's not the
Wait.
same, Dub.
It's
You
not
guys
the
are
same.
saying-
yes or no.
I gotta go eat.
It's not-
I'll see
I
if
don't
I'm gonna
know.
come back in if I get
Oh
done eating.
wow! We're trying
Cheers,
to
Ozzy.
Hey, thank
clear it up for you, Dub.
It's a postulate, man.
It's not. Atheism
Dub,
is
he's
not.
not. Wildheart is not.
It's a
Can I-
rejection.
Hold on.
Just let me
know when it's my
explain.
turn.
Just let. Okay, stop talking at some point, and then I'll let you know. Right? Atheism is not a postulate. It's not postulating that God doesn't exist. Christians or theists are making a claim that God does exist. Atheism is just the rejection of that claim. It's not postulating that God doesn't exist. It's just saying you're making a claim and I'm not convinced. There's a difference.
Like Dub, you're an atheist. You're an atheist to other religions. You don't believe the claims of other religions. Therefore, you are atheist to that God.
Yeah. You are an atheist to every other God other than the Christian one. I just don't believe in one more God than you don't.
Yeah, they're not making a claim that God doesn't exist. For you to know that, you would have to be God yourself, in a sense, to go to every corner of the universe to say no God exists. That's why I say the best you can say. Everybody's agnostic.
Yeah, I think they are, unless they're dishonest.
With their leanings and biases.
Yeah, I agree with that. No one knows 100% certain whether God exists or not.
Right. So it's not a claim, Dub. I hope you understand that. It's a response to a claim.
Yeah, that's it.
Like I was trying to say, I think all three of you pitched in. Just let me know when you would like me to respond. I'm going to listen intently to what you're saying, though.
Right, no, Dub, the problem is once we know, or once I know, I'll just speak for myself. Once I know where you've gone wrong, I have to stop you there and point it out and try to make you understand it, because you can go on for another 20 minutes. And after that point where I localize your mistake, I have to interrupt there and stop you, otherwise the rest is just pointless. Do you understand there's a difference between saying God does not exist and saying I'm not convinced that God exists, but he might do? Do you understand that difference?
Yes, the difference is you're not willing to listen to anything except for what you believe. So you'll remain in that stance because you won't listen to anyone anyway. So what do we do now? You'll remain an atheist, which means that you're going to be somebody who just believes in God entire life because you're going to die that way. I mean, if
No,
you're on
you-
the fence, how do you deserve anything?
No, you just said there's no. You said there's no difference between someone who says God doesn't exist and someone who says they're not convinced that God exists. I'm trying to point out the difference. It's you what's not open-minded.
No.
It's you what's not listening.
No, wait. Now, hold on. Now, I'm trying to see. Do you understand what I'm saying? Okay, if somebody is going to be on the fence their entire life, and they're going to be like, "Well, I'm not convinced. I'm not convinced. I'm not convinced," then they die, and they meet
Yeah.
the Maker. Are they supposed to be just excused? So why doesn't everyone just become like you are and go,
Well,
"Well,
that's-
I didn't know."
But
I
that's
have a
just
question, Dub. What convinced you? What
Sorry,
convinced you?
can we just finish this? That's
Okay.
presupposing, Dub, that there is a maker. You're saying, what if everyone stays on? I'm saying you shouldn't believe anything without proper justification.
That's
If
why
it can't
I
be
said
demonstrated, you
it's a
couldn't believe it.
positive.
You shouldn't believe it.
That's why I said ultimately atheism or whatever you believe in the way that you define it, it's a postulate because you can die and then, well, I never knew. I was on the fence the whole time. Well, you didn't even want to listen to anyone, but yet you wanted to say, well, no one
No,
can
I'm
prove it.
listening.
And everyone should believe like me.
He's listening to plenty of people.
I will listen to everyone, but if they don't convince me, then I'm not convinced.
But you don't want to listen.
All you're doing is Pascal's wager.
Hey, Waldhart.
You might as well believe. Go on, Roger, sorry.
No, can we ask Dub what convinced him, and
Yeah.
then see if those are justifiable reasons for his belief?
Yeah, go on, Doug. What convinced you that God exists?
Why do you
Need to
believe?
explain that.
Why do you believe?
I don't feel the need to explain that. But however, my life experiences convinced me that
I'm sorry, Dub.
have to.
I'm sorry, Dub. I have to correct you, because in Peter 3:16, I believe it is. All right.
Sure, go ahead.
It says always to be prepared to give an answer for the hope that lies within. So it doesn't.
That's correct.
Right.
It
So
does
I'm
say.
asking you what I'm asking for your reason.
Okay, so let me say, if you don't believe in the Bible, I'm not going to put my pearls before swine. So there you are.
You don't
Well,
know
that's-
what I believe, Dub. You
That's-
don't even know me.
That's
Yep.
just a get
I
out.
can
That's
tell you
saying
by
if
the way you're asking your question
Dub,
who you are.
Dub, that's just a get out. You're saying if you don't believe me, then I'm not even going to explain myself to you. That's just a runaway get out clause.
Hold on. I just told you
Why?
I don't feel the need to give away my personal experiences, but I will say that my personal experiences invited me to be convinced that I need to learn more and read more. So if you haven't had that experience yet, whatever it's going to be for you, then maybe you just haven't had it yet.
That's fine, Dub. No, that's all I need to know. You don't have to go into details. All right.
There
You
you
had a
go.
personal
And I gave you
experience.
I gave you the answer off the bat. I gave you the answer off the bat then, did I not?
So it was a
thank
personal
you.
experience that convinced you that I believe you're a Christian,
That I
that
needed to
Jesus
read.
is.
That I needed to read more and understand. That's what it was. Okay.
So do you think that your personal experiences should convince anyone else? You're saying we are.
I just want to follow this up, Dub, if I may. All right, because I want you, because I don't know if you ever heard of like an outsider test of faith. Have you ever heard of that?
An outsider test of faith.
Right, whereby somebody can have similar experiences with a different religion, right? They have this experience, so therefore they want to learn more about it. So what do? They're going into that text, right, of that religion,
Yep.
which only in
Yeah.
a lot of ways only will feed a confirmation bias. If you allow me, all right, because
I mean,
if you were in
don't-
another country where
don't
mostly
allow-
Hinduism was the prevalent religion and you had a similar experience, more likely than not, you'd be Hindu.
Okay, but this is the problem. So now you have the New Testament and the Old Testament. Now, certain people who believe in certain ways can't even understand the Old Testament at all. They won't make any connections. It's not going to happen. Just what they believe. But when you look at the New Testament and the things that are said and the connections that are made, you can start to understand them better and see that that's exactly what's being said. The connections are being made. You don't want to believe that, and that's okay. I mean, you have free will to do whatever you want.
You again, Dub. You don't know what I believe. You haven't even asked me what I believe.
Tell me
You
what
don't even
believe.
know what I believe. You making an
Tell me what
assumption
you
here.
Now tell me what you believe.
Okay. For one, I was a Christian. For decades,
You
I
were?
was a Christian.
Oh, you
Yes.
were? Okay.
Yes, I was a Christian. I am not an
What happened?
atheist. All right, I am not an atheist. All right.
What are you now?
Okay. All right. So what I think is, since a lot of ways this is all pointless in a lot of
No,
ways. So
you're
that's
not.
why I just say, listen. Everybody doesn't know. The atheist doesn't know. The Christian can't be convinced. The Christian
Sir,
is
you
only
didn't-
relying on experiences.
You didn't answer the question. What are you? You said
I'm
you're not
getting to
an
that.
atheist.
Do you have any patience?
I'm a survivor. I'm gonna make it.
I thought Christians supposed to have patience.
Can you just welcome Frank? Good to see you. And carry on.
If you just want to label, okay, but I'm trying to give you an explanation. All right, because labels
Make it
are limiting.
Instead of drawing it out for 5 minutes, you could just say what word describes what you believe. Okay, there's already
An
definitions of
agnostic
these.
pantheist. Agnostic pantheist.
What the fuck
Agnostic
is that?
pantheist.
All right, calm down. An agnostic pantheist is someone who doesn't know whether God exists or not, but they believe that the universe is God. Have we got that right?
So you
Go
just
ahead.
believe
Keep
that the
going. I
universe
was
is
trying to understand.
No, that's it. That's what an agnostic pantheist is. They
So
don't
you-
claim
you-
knowledge
you-
that God exists. That's what agnostic means.
Pantheist? Where the
And
fuck
then-
did they come from? The Pantheon?
Frank, did you just ask me a question? Do you want to know the answer, or are you going to interrupt me two words into the sentence?
I love you.
Right, shut the fuck up then. Right. Agnostic means they don't know whether God exists, they don't claim knowledge. But a pantheist means that they believe the universe is God, therefore agnostic pantheist. Does that answer your
Okay,
question?
so then here's your
I
problem.
know what
because-
agnostic is, man. What do you say?
Oh,
Pantheist. They believe the
Pantheist.
universe is God.
That's not even a fucking.
Not a polytheist. Nothing to do with the pantheon.
We bastard.
Bro, you don't believe in anything at all then, because what? Okay, so if you believe, okay, let's take the second part of that, a pantheist. So you believe in the universe is God. That's what he just said. So you believe
You
who
believe in
created-
pants on a theist?
Who created the universe?
There's no who that created the universe.
Oh, really?
Yeah, no who.
That's who created it right there. Whoever said, "Oh God,"
Who
you
did-
got it right. Thank you.
Yeah, why do you
That
presume?
is the entire
Oh,
point.
Juan,
Why
Why
do you be agnostic by believing in a fucking oracle?
Can I just say hello to Leah? And why do you presume that it's a who? The correct question is, what is the reason the universe exists? If you presume the who, you're already cutting off several options that might be true. You can't say,
Yeah.
well, who created the universe?
See,
It's
Dub,
what is the reason the universe exists?
It could be a whom.
see, Dub, it comes down to this. It's all going to come down to this. All right, we're going to go down the whole rabbit hole. All right, it's going to come, how it all started, and we have to come to terms that something or someone wants to believe existed all the time. All the time, it had to always exist.
Why? Otherwise, the pantheist.
And the debate becomes what exactly that is. That's what we're debating.
But why? Why do you think a subdermal human being was there before you? I mean, isn't that a fairy tale? I mean, you do not know. Why do you not want to be at peace that you simply do not know?
Right.
Because the correct answer, if you don't know something, is to say you don't know. It's not to make bullshit up. It's not saying I don't know, therefore God exists because it makes me feel happy. That is the wrong answer.
And what is the good answer? Because there is none. Because everybody makes shit up.
No, the good answer is I don't know. If you don't know something, the only correct
Exactly. Just let it be.
The only
Depends if you know.
The only intellectually honest answer to give if you don't know something is to say I don't know.
I know.
Yeah, but it's actually intellectually dishonest to when somebody brings something forth to you, because hold on, man. When somebody brings something forth to you and you're not listening or willing to look into it at all, because you the reality.
That is what your religious fucks always use. Like, you're not willing to listen. I'm not willing to listen because I have my own fucking goddamn mind.
All right.
Why should I listen to you? Why should I listen to you? I already know where this entire conversation is going. Your belief is only right. Nobody else's religion is right. And therefore, everybody is stupid that does not believe in what you are. Because the counterfact is that everybody that doesn't believe what you believe is making you a goddamn fucking fool. And nobody wants that because it hurts your goddamn titties.
Can you say hello to I am Maximus? Yeah, we'll see. And yeah.
Hello, whoever that is.
What you're saying is, as a Christian, you're saying, I don't know, therefore I know it's God. Can you see the problem with that? I don't know, therefore it must be God.
Of course that motherfucker doesn't know.
You're putting me to sleep right now. Seriously.
What chapter in the fucking Bible are you gonna tell me that actually says that what you are saying is true? It's been written by another fucking dude. Were you there?
It actually says it's all God inspired, buddy. But good try.
God inspired. Dude, if it's God inspired, then God should have written that goddamn fucking book.
I can write a book and say that it's God inspired. It doesn't make it true.
That is such a fucking stupid argument.
Why did it take so long for God to be inspired?
Go get another tattoo.
Is that your only argument? Because I actually make an argument on why your fucking belief is silly, it's stupid, and it's based on another human being. I mean, I'm not sure I can get another tattoo, but it's not based on somebody else in my head.
Oh, really? Why'd you get your tattoos? Tell me.
All right, this seems like a massive rabbit trail, and I really don't give a shit why you got
a rabbit trail. That is such a fucking analogy. You're gonna base your religion on a tattoo? I mean, what did Jesus have? A fucking tribal tattoo, and therefore you wanting to wear a tattoo? Fucking bang someone after religion?
Look at how tongue-tied you just got right there. That's hilarious.
Okay, because you can't actually argue what I just told you. Therefore, you want to have ad hominem attacks. And is that it? Because tell me, my man, why is religion true? Why is religion true? Well, tell me, why is your religion true? Why is your religion true? I really want to know that. Because you can't.
Because
everybody knows that you can't. Because
okay, are you going to allow me to answer your question, Frank? Hey, Frank.
You're like a Jehovah's Witness. Does that piss you off? Because I thought that, being religious actually makes you more respectful and not use cuss words.
Oh, shut up.
He's not really religious, is he?
You're a hypocrite, dude.
No, I'm a hypocrite? No, I'm a dude that just fucking floored you.
Oh, you couldn't even ask about your own. You can answer.
Right, this conversation is going to shit. It's just bollocks now.
I think it's quite fun, to be honest.
Yeah,
complete
bollocks. I don't think Bob is interested in having a serious conversation about his beliefs and why he believes them and all this stuff.
It's got into tattoos and
I'm the only one that are right, and therefore his beliefs are the only ones that can not be criticized. And therefore, if you criticize it, then he needs to be fucking ad hominems because he can't fucking answer it.
You can criticize all you want, but then have a realistic and honest discussion, honest intellectual discussion, not a.
How the fuck can I have an intellectual, honest discussion of something that is make believe?
That is what?
That is make believe. Am I speaking Chinese?
Although to be fair, Frank, you can't. Job, shush, Frank. You can't demonstrate that it's make believe. I agree with you, but you can't demonstrate that. So you can't say that it is make believe. You can say that you believe it's make believe, but just to be fair.
Okay, then let me rephrase it. For me, it is make believe.
Yeah, that's fine.
Not everyone's gonna get it, bro. Not everyone's supposed to.
Not everybody is supposed to. Where the fuck in the Bible is that? Like, where's the chapter that says that certain individuals do not understand it?
Are you serious?
You tell me.
Have you ever read the Bible?
No, there are several. Sorry, there are several. There are several places. It does say basically anyone who reads this book and doesn't believe it, they suppress the truth in their unrighteousness.
Blasphemy to the gallows.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's good reasons. I'm just saying it does say in the Bible that if you read the Bible and you don't believe it, then there's something wrong with you. Which is obviously
yeah, because that is the egocentric thing about religion, is because those motherfuckers only believe.
You can have an echo chamber all you want, Frank. Go get another tattoo.
Echo chamber? Where the fuck did you get that? ChatGPT? Do you need to Google that? What kind of? So I cannot have a personal opinion. I cannot criticize religion.
Frank, when you don't shut your mouth and let somebody else talk, you obviously want an echo chamber to hear yourself talk.
But Dub, again, you're just talking all the time, and once we disagree with something, we have to bring it up. Otherwise, you'll just carry on for another 20 minutes.
I'm not carrying on for 20 minutes. If somebody
Then tell me what fucking Paul said.
Because this is what happens right here.
That is
You
what
see
you're gonna
that?
do, because that is that echo chamber, right? But that is not an echo chamber, is it?
So, Frank, to be fair, give him a chance now. Dub, what is your point? And as soon as I disagree with you,
I'm feeling spicy tonight, Waldhart. I can't help it.
Frank, shut up, man. Once one person comes at me with a point, and then I am not allowed to answer back, and then the other person comes in immediately afterwards, I'm being shut out, and then I'm being piled on. Let's take it 1 point by 1 point. That's all.
Okay, I accept that. But just know that as soon as you start to answer 1 point and anyone disagrees with you, they have the right to stop you and ask for clarification. Do you know what I mean? You can't
I agree. I agree. We have to be civil.
Yeah, that's fine. Okay.
Here is like, if somebody's telling you something and then somebody else has a question or they have a rebuttal, you can't allow like 4 other people to be like piling onto these people, because then that's like, how do I answer this question without going on for 20 minutes? Because it's impossible. But if we take it one by one, we're all good.
Yeah,
that's fair. Wouldn't that be really simple? Because if something that you believe in is actually true, then it would be easily to rebuttal.
But again, here's the thing: is I was proposing that what your thoughts are and what my thoughts are both a postulate. Postulate. That means that you have a belief system. Although I understand where Wildheart comes from on this, I understand what your position is, but it's either a yes or a no. You can't really sit on the fence, because there has to be proof given on either side. And the problem becomes is somebody who says there is no God, how do you prove that? And then on my side, I have proof, but it comes from the Bible. So then you're going to say, oh, well, you're using the Bible to prove the Bible. Well, of course I am. That's the only thing I can do. I can't just appeal to something else that you can't read.
Sorry, Dub. Frank, let me respond to that. Dub, no, what you're saying, it has to be a yes or a no. That's where you're going wrong. It's yes, no, or I don't know. I don't know is a valid point of view, and it's not a belief system. It's just saying you're making a claim that God exists. I don't accept your claim. It's not saying I'm saying you're wrong or I believe that God doesn't exist. It's not yes or no. It's yes or no as to whether God actually exists, but it's not yes or no as to whether you believe a God exists.
It's not a fucking multiple choice question, Waldhart.
Yeah, it is.
Frank.
It is.
What is it?
It's yes, no, or I don't know. I believe God exists. I don't believe God exists, or I don't know. Whether God actually exists or not is a yes, no question.
You can even deny it and still believe in it. It doesn't matter, right?
You can't deny it and still believe in it. No.
Well, you can deny it if you fucking keep bitching about it. I mean, it doesn't matter.
You can't deny something and still believe in it. That's impossible.
It's not a fast thing, is it?
How can you deny something? You can't deny something and still believe in it. That's impossible.
You can deny it, but still believe in it.
Then you wouldn't deny it. Not if you're being honest. You can lie. You can lie about what you believe.
Okay, what he just said is actually true.
Let me make it more logical sense. If you can deny it, if you deny it, and years go past, and you actually accept it, is that still the same thing?
No, what I'm saying is you can't deny it and in the same breath at the same time say, but I believe it. I deny that this is true, but I believe it. That's impossible.
But you can.
Yeah, I mean, you can physically say that, but you'll be lying either to yourself or to anyone else. You can't deny something and believe it at the same time.
Okay, fair enough. In a physical word, you can actually do that. For example, white politicians lie all the time. Fair enough. You can.
Yeah, no, I'm saying you can lie, but I'm saying if you're being honest, then you can't deny something and believe it. If you're being honest.
But what is honesty? I mean, everybody has a contextuality about honesty, right?
It's just saying what you believe is true. If you believe something is true and you deny it, then you are, by definition, being dishonest.
Dub, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
I believe that what you just said is true in both ways that you just said it, Wildheart. So congratulations. Or maybe it was the other guy that said something, whatever. One of you just, both of you, maybe both of you hit it. If somebody is saying that they can believe in something but then deny it, that's true. You can. That's in the Bible, actually. So that's true. And then I think, Wildheart, you threw in something that was also true. So, but here you go. You have certain people out there that will tell the truth, and some people will just skim over some of it, and then they'll tell a little lie in there. That's how the world is.
Dub, I wasn't trying to disrespect you in any way. Okay, I totally agree with. Well, okay, I didn't agree with what your religion necessarily is, but do I accept you? Sure. See, the thing is religion is like a ghost. Unless you witness it, unless you actually feel it, then sure, go ahead. But you cannot possibly bring the gospel or whatever you believe in to other people. But sure, you can argue it because it's your own belief. I totally get it. But the argument becomes really sensitive when you ask people, where does God come from? I get that. I wasn't trying to mean, I'm a passionate guy. I wasn't trying to be. But the thing is that, why do you believe? And the question is always why. It's always the why question, and it's never the when. Or sure, it is the when, but the question is not also the why. The question, it becomes way further in ignorance and because of where did God come from? Because nobody can answer that. And that is where it becomes a fable. Because you're believing in something that is. No, hold on. I will let you talk afterwards. Whatever. Well, thank you, by the way. The point is that you are feeling comfortable with something that is a guidance to you. For some people, that doesn't work because that guidance is not always.
Who told you that I'm comfortable? Who told you that?
Can I talk? Because I thought that you just explained what a debate would or what a discussion would be about. And I'm
yes.
just that exact same
Frank, let me clarify. Frank, you can talk, but keep it concise. Keep it to one question.
I'm almost done. But the thing is that, just because you believe, it doesn't mean that it's necessarily a controversial thing for every single one that you think that needs to be saved just because it helped for you. And that is the beautiful thing about religion. Just because you think that it works for you and you want to reflect that is when the argument becomes a debate. Because you think it helped for you, you think it should work for others. And that's where it becomes kind of egotistical. Okay? That is not how.
Hold on. Now, allow me to retort because you're kind of going on and on now. Now, you said that I'm comfortable.
I was done anyways, but okay.
Since when did anyone tell you that I'm comfortable? Since when? And go ahead. Tell me.
Man, I wasn't trying to offend you.
You're not offending me. I'm just telling you in the Bible it says I'm not gonna be.
But you're being passive aggressive.
No, I'm not passive aggressive. Oh my gosh. Wow. I'm just I'm telling you, bro. I think it's,
dude, I'm not sure.
Hold on, wait. Just wait, man. I'm not comfortable sitting here being comfortable in my belief. Do you think it's fun for me to sit here and try to defend? It's not, but that's the way it is.
Then on what points that is it that you disagree?
We've already been over some points. You could bring up something new if you'd like, and we can get into a new topic.
That's not what I'm asking. I'm asking because you said that I already talked a lot. Then you already must acknowledge what I was wrong about. Then tell me what I was wrong about because I'm willing to learn.
Or are you really? So what have we been doing the last 45 minutes?
So you remember literally nothing what I said, and you just argued because you think
No, don't try to mirror stuff onto me. You don't remember.
not
Or you
mirroring.
don't want to bring
Because
stuff up.
if you were to mirror, then you would actually recollect what I was arguing.
Frank, if you're trying to be a psychologist here, you're failing miserably. So go ahead.
I think that I'm actually doing a pretty good job because, dude, I was just reflecting. I was just having an honest conversation with you, wasn't I?
No, you weren't.
Then how was I not having an
Right,
honest
this is getting into the weeds again. It's getting he said, she said on the C show. Do you know what I mean? Can we get back to some actual points?
Go for it.
Yeah.
Bring something up. What would you like to talk about?
Right. So what? Again,
What's the
how
title
you
of your
just?
show? What's the title of your show? Let's try to go back to the title.
Oh, it's open panel. It's always that. I put that all the time. It's just yeah. It's not a particular thing. But we're talking about. Can you justify your belief in God? Why should any? I know that's what you believe, that God exists. Can you? Why should anyone else believe you? Give us a reason to believe.
I'm trying to. We're just bringing it back to the definition of the word postulate. If you haven't looked it up yet, please look it up because you will understand that no matter what I say, if you do not believe you don't believe you're in that postulate definition anywhere, then why is it that you're allowed? Hold on, man. Let me make a point. Why is it that you believe that you are immune from picking anything? But so it's just you're immune from the postulate thing, but then you can just shoot everything down. Does that make sense?
Again, I know what a postulate is. You are postulating that God exists. I'm not postulating that God doesn't exist. I'm just saying I don't accept your postulate that God exists. There's a difference. I'm not arguing with you.
Say that about everything. So then you believe that God does not exist ultimately.
Until there's sufficient evidence. If you can provide sufficient evidence that God exists, then I will believe it. I will have no choice.
But ultimately,
I'm asking you to do that. Can you demonstrate that your postulate is true? Until then, I shouldn't believe it.
Wildheart, okay, you asked a question. Let me answer. So I'm trying to, but your belief system is telling you that it doesn't matter whether it's Buddhism, Hinduism, any ism, it doesn't matter. You're going to sit there and go, oh, well, God still doesn't exist. Well, then you've made up your mind that there is no God, period.
Hold on. Are you contradicting what he believes in?
And just finish that. I'm not saying that God doesn't exist and I'm stuck to that position. I'm saying give me good evidence that God does exist and then I'll change my mind. Whether it's Yahweh, Buddhist God, any God, give me good reason to believe.
Okay, because you believe in science. What was before the Big Bang? Anything? What caused the Big Bang? Go ahead.
We don't know. No one knows.
Walter, what do you believe in? Because he was saying that you believe in something and I'm not totally aware.
Yeah, that's it. I don't. When it comes to God, I don't believe anything. I don't believe God exists. It's not a belief. It's a lack of belief.
But Dub, why do you say that he believes in something while he clearly stated that he does?
I'm saying that even no belief is a belief. It's a belief in no belief. That's what it is.
By definition, not believing something is not a belief.
Yeah, it is.
I can not believing in something be a belief. It's by definition not.
No, there needs to be context. It's like reading a book. And you have that book out there. Some people read it, and then some people don't. And people go like, "Did you read that book?" No, but you definitely saw it, right?
Yeah, I get what you're saying, but I've read the Bible. I've read the Bible, and it's not convinced me that God exists. You're saying I should just believe it rather than not, but with no reasons. You're not giving me a reason to believe it.
Can we say no context reason that he doesn't believe?
Okay, so I've never seen insert random animal that only lives in Australia, but I've seen it online, but I've never seen it in real life. Does that mean? I mean, I just don't believe it. They tell stories about it, but I don't believe that.
Well, it depends what evidence. It depends what the evidence is. You don't need to see things with your own eyes to believe. If there's enough evidence.
Do you believe in dinosaurs? Do you believe in the dinosaurs?
I believe they existed, yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean, you know, you got evidence from fossils and stuff like that. So do you believe when you look back on biblical stuff and they can prove that it's there, do you start believing or is it just not enough for you?
What do you mean by biblical stuff? Do you mean that like towns and cities existed? That doesn't mean Frank,
hold on,
Frank,
wait.
Hold on.
Ask me a question. He just asked me a question. So hold on. I mean that when they can archaeologically dig up stuff or things that are written about in the Bible, and they can show you, but you're still not gonna. You still don't get it.
No, they can show that the cities existed. Spider-Man is set in New York. New York exists. Spider-Man doesn't. Just because they archaeologically dig up certain cities and places, it doesn't mean the stories. Doesn't mean the stories are true.
Show me one thing about Spider-Man that exists. Show me.
New York.
Show me one thing of Jesus that exists.
New York.
He lives in New York. New York exists.
Are you kidding me? What are you talking about?
Show me one thing.
When they dig up Frank. Shush. Right, when they dig up a place, a town, archaeologically, all that proves is that the town existed. We know that New York exists. You could write a story about Jesus. Let me finish. You could write a story about Jesus existing in the town. The town could exist, and Jesus might not have done the things in the story that it's exactly the same. New York exists. That doesn't mean Spider-Man exists. Jerusalem exists. That doesn't mean that Jesus existed.
All right, let me know when you're done. I thought you were done, pretty much. Like I thought you were running an interview there. But okay, so how can somebody say that Spider-Man is true because New York is true? Because Batman is true because that looks like Gotham is New York too. So Batman is true. Where's Batman?
Exactly.
Have you heard?
Yeah, that's my point.
No, because that was made up from someone's imagination, bro. That's not
exactly like religion.
How do we know that? How do we know that Jesus wasn't?
Wait 2 seconds. You cannot archaeologically dig up anything that has to do with Batman or Spider-Man. You can't.
Right. What have you dug up that shows anything to do with Jesus? If you dig up a city, why does Jesus ever live there?
I'm not trying to do anyone else's homework, okay? You have things.
Oh, for fuck's sake! Stop saying that crap.
Yeah.
You know you can't back it up.
Frank the Tank, shut up, dude. Are you serious? You think that Spider-Man is real? Shut up, dude.
No, but dude, what were you? That is the entire point, isn't it? You cannot back anything up. It's a delusion.
The dumbest shit I have ever heard.
You know, the thing is that what hurts your titties is because you're wrong. You can't back anything up. There's no evidentiary value of it.
Don't comb your hair, bro. Get another tattoo. Whatever.
Right, in 2000, right, we're not going back to tattoos. Fuck that. Right, in 2,000 years, they dig up New York. And then they say, well, New York existed. We know that because we've dug it up. And we have comics of Spider-Man and he lived in New York. All you're saying is Jesus existed because the town he supposedly went to and the stories exist. It's exactly the same. Spider-Man doesn't exist, but New York exists.
You're saying that they're
technically it wasn't even New York, it was New Amsterdam.
We have Frank coming back in to pile it on. Go ahead, Frank. What do you got to say?
Because I know a lot about history, unlike you.
Yeah, but Spider-Man once existed when it was New Amsterdam, so you are just literally interrupting and derailing. You don't have to get involved in every conversation. Do you know what I
mean? How far away, Doug? Tell us how much we are wrong.
What's that?
Right, so how is it different? You're saying we know Jesus existed because, like I said, Jerusalem exists.
So here's the fact of the matter. The fact of the matter is, I believe that you're going to be responsible for the things that are revealed to you in the time that you live in. So now, were you alive 2,000 years ago to witness these things? No, you weren't. But did you read about them? And were they told to your ears Did people tell you about them? Yes, they probably did. So now Spider-Man is a whole different thing, because were you told about Spider-Man? Yeah, you were.
Yep.
Did you know that was fake? Yeah, you did. And you're probably going to die. And then 2,000 years later, if you were still alive somewhere, you can say that Spider-Man was false, right? Because you were here.
Yeah, but if I wasn't here, were you here when Jesus lived?
No,
all you know is that Jerusalem and Bethlehem exist. You weren't there. By your own argument, you weren't there when Jesus was around. So all you know is that Jerusalem and Bethlehem exist. You don't know anything about Jesus. All you know is that someone wrote a story about Jesus being in Bethlehem.
Okay, so what you're doing is completely disregarding what I just told you, because your example makes no sense. What I'm saying is you're not responsible for the 2,000 years ago. However, they are going to tell you about it. Now, you are responsible for today, and you just said Batman and Superman are real because New York is there. How does that make any sense? And you can never pull up anything archaeologically that proves Batman and Superman at all.
I'm not saying they exist. I'm saying that's what your argument leads to. You are saying archaeologically we've dug up Jerusalem and Bethlehem, therefore we know they are places. And it says in the Bible, in the storybook, that Jesus lived in Bethlehem and Jerusalem. Just because Bethlehem and Jerusalem, the archaeological evidence doesn't prove Jesus. It proves that those places existed. Much in the same way, the fact that New York exists isn't proof that Batman or Spider-Man exists. That's the point. It's not proof.
You made your point. You can stop and not overstate your point. Now, there are archaeological digs that are going on that are from many, 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 many years ago that are talking about how Jesus is God, these things. But you're still going to say, oh, I don't believe it. It was just a made-up story that everyone's been following for the last 2,000 years. How does that happen?
Right.
I mean,
what evidence could you dig up archaeologically that proves Jesus' existence? The only thing could be his bones.
No, it can be it can be where they were actually starting to mention those things. Which, if we could date that back to the
historically,
if we can,
that's not archaeologically.
Hold on. Let me answer the question, and then you can come back with your rebuttal, and I'll be fine with that. But so if we can date something back to, let's say, 100 BC, 100 AD, then we know that he existed, unless it's just a complete fairy tale that people have been following for 2,000 years.
Yeah,
I mean,
and I know it's not.
What's that?
How can you prove that it's not a complete fairy tale? If you dig up writings from 100 years after Jesus died, how can you demonstrate? Sorry, didn't I let you finish when you asked, Dub? Didn't I let you finish? I know, Frank. I'm trying to get to you. If I can finish a fucking sentence. Dub, how do you know?
You asked me a question. You said, can you prove it? And I'm telling you, it's a postulate. I've already told you that hell of times. You get it?
So you can't prove it?
No, I can't.
So you can't demonstrate that Jesus existed?
It's called faith. You can't demonstrate your belief either. So shut the fuck up.
I can demonstrate my beliefs. I believe the universe exists. You don't see the universe? You don't believe the universe exists?
The universe is a creation, so you believe in the creation over God?
No,
Fine.
we were. Sorry, let me finish. We were getting somewhere there. Dub. So you're just going on faith. You can't demonstrate it. I don't have to demonstrate because I don't have a belief. I'm just not convinced that Jesus is the Son of God. You're saying you believe it, but you can't demonstrate it. That's the difference.
I can't demonstrate it to you because you won't listen. That's why.
Dub,
no,
I have a question though. You said it was people do archaeological dig sites, but what kind of belief do those people have that have those archaeological dig sites? Don't they think that they have a historical?
What's that? I'm sorry, your voice got very low at the end there.
Don't you think that those people that do those archaeological dig sites that don't have an innuendo or an agenda?
Do they have an agenda? Oh, so they just dug something up from the ground and all of a sudden it appeared there because they planted it there? Are you kidding? Conspiracy theory.
First time, brother. You can laugh, but that actually happens.
Oh, really?
Oh shit! Sorry, I've got to interrupt the two people backstage. No, I've got to. And sorry, side chat. I've not been.
I'm gonna drop off. I'm gonna drop off. But you know what? You can believe in your science and you can believe in carbon dating, and that would solve your problem. But I have to drop off, so I'm gonna drop off. Thank you for the time, fellas.
Good thing good thing he's leaving. Gio's here.
Yeah,
Hey, Gio.
welcome, and Cara, I'm going to let you on. You might be a problem by my butt. I'm hoping you're not.
I'm friends with Frank.
Hey, Kara.
Hey. Nice to meet y'all.
Yeah, you too. And I'm sorry to the side chat. I've not been watching for 5 minutes, and I need a short bathroom break, so you'll have to look after yourself. I'll be right back.
Hey, can anyone provide the link for the actual YouTube stream?
I could.
I'm kind of lazy today, Sam. I can't. Of course I can. Where do you want it?
What would you provide it?
Yeah, where do you want it?
I want the link to the stream that's going on right now that we're on, so I can be part of the live chat within the YouTube sphere.
Oh, yeah, I kind of figured. Okay, so I'm not saying.
Know what I'm saying?
Oh, you don't see the live chat?
Huh?
You don't see the live chat?
What do you mean? Do I see the live chat?
I sent it to you in private.
There's comments. Is that what you mean?
Yeah, the comments. You don't see them?
No, I don't. No, I go and look at the live stream as it's streaming.
Oh, because you're using OBS, right? That way?
No.
Sam,
Okay.
I sent it to you in private chat.
I got it.
There you go.
Hey, Kara, how are you doing?
So, Gio, we saw you coming. You scared double way.
Good.
Oh,
I was actually coming to help the guy out, and then he left.
Not scared.
Oh. Hi, Kara.
Hey.
So, Kara, lovely. She's
Are you a
also
Christian? Are you a Christian?
What? I am.
Okay. So, how are you going to help him out?
Well, he's gone now, but
Okay. So, why are you a Christian?
I'm a Christian because I believe in Jesus. And I believe that
All
he
right,
died
why
on
do you
the
believe in
cross and
Jesus?
rose from the dead. So,
Why do you believe that?
sure, everybody has their personal walk in life. And what you believe is what you believe, right? But for me, I have a personal relationship with him. So, you hear my dog in the background? He's wanting a treat.
Yeah. I hear you.
So-
I hear. Can you tell me what you mean by having a personal relationship with
Sure.
Jesus?
So I used to party and I've always believed that there was a God, right?
Mhm.
But as far as Jesus goes, I didn't believe until about 10 years ago.
Mhm.
And one thing that got me was, and let's not even talk about the
Did
Bible.
he show up at your
okay?
door?
Yeah, he did.
No, did
No.
Jesus show up at your door?
No, he did
Oh,
not. And you mean like in the form of a Jehovah's Witness or something? No. So
I mean, this personal relationship you have with Jesus, is it the same way you have a relationship with, like, your friends?
absolutely.
Yeah?
Yep.
Oh, okay. What's your friend's favorite color?
Whatever mine is, I guess.
Your friend's favorite color is your favorite color?
I'm joking.
Oh, okay.
I'm joking. It was a joke.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No.
I'm trying to be a little serious.
Me and Kara.
Like your best friend. I'm sure you know their favorite color, right? Your best friend?
Green. No. Her favorite color is cobalt blue.
I
Cobalt
thought you
blue.
were talking
Good
about
color.
me. Well, that's a disappointment. Okay.
I don't know
that'll
what your
hurt my
favorite color is,
feelings.
Frank. I would guess blue or black.
No, screw you.
Cobalt blue is a great color. I love that color. Can you tell me Jesus' favorite color? See,
How would I know that? Why would
well, you
I
have the
talk to
personal
Jesus about his
relationship.
favorite color?
You have the personal relationship with him.
Yeah. But it's not talk about simple things like personal color and stuff.
But
Trust me, I had this conversation with her before.
Yeah,
Yeah,
oh yeah, me and Frank have talked about it many times.
the point is, if you have a personal relationship with someone, you can ask them their favorite color, and they will tell you. That's the point of it being simple.
Why would I
If
ask what his favorite color is? I would guess all the colors.
because you can
I would
ask
guess
him.
he would see them equally.
But you did say that you have the same relationship with Jesus as you do with your best friend.
You know, Kara, you know that atheists would take things really literal, right?
Oh yeah.
Dumbass.
You know what the point
Sometimes.
is? You can.
I thought her were better, guys.
Right. The point
That's funny.
is, if you have a relationship with a friend, you can ask them their favorite color, and they will tell you. You can't
Yeah.
claim to have the same personal relationship with Jesus and not know his favorite color because you could just ask him.
Yeah, I think that's kind of a
That's
silly
really-
question, though.
I guess the difference is between the spiritual relationship, right?
It's a spiritual, correct. It's a spiritual relationship. It's not like you hold hands when you go to the restroom and, you know, like girls go to the bathroom together. It's not like that. It's kind of silly.
What does that mean? Spiritual relationship.
It's a spiritual relationship.
But what does that mean? What does it mean to have a spiritual relationship?
So, well, I can't explain it. I don't guess. So
It
let's
is the
say-
same like you trying to answer where your cognitive inabilities come from.
Right. So,
'Cause you can.
so it's all about what's in your. So we're made of a body and a soul. Do you agree? We are body and spirit. Your thoughts are not part of your body.
I don't know what you mean by soul, and if we have evidence of the soul.
So
I get what spirituality.
If I love somebody, it's because of my inner self. It's not because of my body. It's because inside I feel love for them.
That's called an
Well,
emotion.
That's spiritual.
There's a bunch of things going on. Sometimes we feel kindred spirit with somebody,
Sure, yeah.
camaraderie.
Yep.
Then you have feelings and chemicals going on, you know, and all that other stuff that gives
I
us
agree.
these feelings. Yeah.
So like you love your parents, or you love your brother, your sister, your friends, you know, you love your pets, you know, you love your children, grandparents.
But Kara, that
That's
is
kind
an
of a
emotion.
spiritual bond that you have with them. It's not necessarily physical. It's a spiritual.
That's not
love
always
proposition.
true, though, because there are a lot of cases out there that can be controversial.
Okay.
So, how do you
what if-
relate?
How do I what?
A relationship, you're relating, right? It's a back and forth.
Sure.
All right. So if it's a spiritual relationship, it's how are you relating if not by words or letters or to each
It's
other?
by thoughts.
Right. So do you understand Jesus' thoughts? Is it a two-way relationship? Can
no,
you ask
no.
the question? So what is the difference between that and an imaginary friend? If Jesus never communicates with you, you are just
He does.
communicating always with. How does he communicate with you?
Just in my thoughts.
So
Just
he
in
does
my mind.
She names it Jesus, but essentially it could be anyone.
It could be an
Frank,
imaginary friend.
if you don't mind, Frank, let her answer for herself.
No, I don't mind.
Projecting over her. I can't help it.
I don't mind interjecting. I'm used to talking to him about it. So basically, the thought process. So, okay, let me give you an example of something physical that I did because of what I heard him say to me. Can I do that?
You can, but
I mean, okay.
No,
When you
no, you can.
What's
but I'm just saying it.
Say that one more time.
For fuck's sake.
What's the voice sound like? What does Jesus' voice sound like?
Sounds like me.
A woman?
Because it's my thoughts. It's in my thoughts.
So how
No,
do you
but what I
decipher Jesus from your own thoughts then?
It's different. It's in a
How?
different tone. It's in a different tone, and it's very quick, but there's a lot said.
How do you know
Right.
it's still
So
your own thoughts? I'm sorry, go ahead, Marlon.
Right. So how do you tell saying that you did something, you performed an action because you thought Jesus was talking to you in thought?
How do I know that it wasn't my thought and I did
Yeah.
it because I was okay? So I'm just going to give you just a quick story. I think I've told this to Frank. I was in Walmart about a year ago. I'm just giving you one thing that I can think of. I was in Walmart at a checkout line, and the lady that was working there, that was actually running the groceries and stuff through, I had a thought in my head that she had a headache. Okay.
Yeah.
That's it. I wouldn't know that. I don't know why I thought it. So when I got up and it was my turn to pay, I said, hey, I feel like God just told me that you had a headache, and do you mind if I pray with you? And she said, honey, I have a migraine and it's so bad. Yes, absolutely, you can pray with me. There was no way for me to have known that she had a headache. And why would I have made that up?
What was she not like holding her head, or didn't she just be in like physical pain? If it was that kind of migraine, you could have
She
been.
was just going along, checking everything out, just like normal.
Yeah, but you could have just been picking up on like physical cues, even subconscious.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Welcome, DT.
Why, if Jesus was going to communicate with you, why would he communicate something as banal as somebody else has a headache?
Because he wanted to heal them.
Sorry, that makes no sense. Jesus could just heal them. He doesn't need you to know they had a headache.
He does. He does, actually. It talks about it in the Bible.
So Jesus needs
Don't
to go
look
through,
at that. No, don't do that, Frank.
So Jesus needs to go through you in order to
He
cure.
doesn't absolutely have to, but he chooses to.
He chooses.
Yeah.
So he got you to ask a checkout woman if she had a headache, and then he could cure it.
I wasn't watching her. I mean, I really wasn't paying that much attention to her.
I mean, why couldn't he just cure it without you being involved? Someone has a
He could have used
headache.
somebody else, yeah. So he gave
why
us
did he
dominion
have
over
to
the
use
earth.
anyone? Why do you have to use anyone? In my point,
He doesn't physically have to use anyone, but he chooses to. He chose to use me at that moment.
why?
I don't know. I can't answer that.
Okay.
Okay.
Can I?
Frank wants to say something though.
What if you're just a good person?
I am a good person most of the
There
time.
you go. Maybe religion isn't involved in that. Maybe you just did it out of your own.
Why would I think that she had a headache? I was not even paying attention to her.
Because maybe you're a human being and somebody else is a human being too.
Or maybe it was or maybe it was random chance. You just got the random thought that this girl might have a headache, and then it was just coincidence that she happened to have a headache.
It is possible.
Right, so in either way, it's not evidence for God.
I was just giving you one example.
You know, life is confusing, folks. Let's be honest. Life is confusing.
By the way, Karen, no one's saying you're not a good person. We're just questioning what you believe in.
It's
you're not bothering me. That's why I came on here.
Yeah, no, I'm not going to go. Yeah, it's the reasoning behind what you think.
Everybody believes their own way. I mean,
yeah.
You better not fucking disturb her, because otherwise we'll kick you guys' ass.
Yeah, thank you for joining, and it's nice to meet you, by the way. If I come across as aggressive.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah. Sorry, Karen.
I don't know where we were going.
So in my book, that isn't really evidence for God. So what is another evidence for God? Because if we both admit that it could be coincidence, then that rules that out as evidence for God.
But see, that is the thing. And, you know, that's the beauty and the disgrace of religion is that some people have experiences, and those experiences they wish upon somebody else. And it doesn't work that way because then you
What are you talking about, bro?
What am I talking about? Fucking religion. Are you deaf? Do I speak Mandarin?
You can't say a swear word and say religion in the same sort of thoughts.
Because I'm not religious.
Right, Simon Heretic, I'll put you backstage.
Oh, I was fixing to say you left.
Yeah, don't start. Just don't. We're talking about religion. Yes, you can swear. God damn, that's swearing and using religion in the same sentence.
Dr. Dre was just hating.
Wait. Are you going to do that to me?
Yeah.
All right. All right, so all right, I understand.
Or was I confusing? Because I can elaborate.
No, you're ignorant.
Oh, I am ignorant. Why am I ignorant?
Why would you say he's ignorant?
Yo, this dude got.
We're all ignorant of something.
All right,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah, that's right.
Don't drop me down. I'm gonna say this shit. Okay.
All right.
This dude, look at him.
Which one?
No, dude talking with his microphone.
Keep going.
He spent quite a lot of time just trying to figure out his hairstyle.
Bro, if you just like come in here to insult people.
I mean, no,
Keep going. Keep going.
Who is that guy?
No, Simon, come back on another night, Whipple. Yeah,
I think he loves you, Frank.
You know, it is what it is. Wouldn't be the first time. No, I'm ignorant for what? I fucking no idea. Would love for somebody to tell me about that.
I was going to find out what side of the road he was on. You know, Christian, non-Christian, agnostic, whatever.
I think he's a Christian. I'm not sure.
Okay.
Yeah, I think he is. I've spoken to him before, but yeah, I think so.
Am I the only Christian up here on panel right now?
Nope. Yo.
No, Maximus is. Yeah.
If I change my name to Christian, would that
Oh,
count?
okay. Do it.
I think Maximus should change his name.
You should say
I
non-Christian.
think that's
on
an
that.
awesome name.
Thank you, man. Thank you. It's my actual name as well.
There you go.
Is that your
Pretty
actual
cool.
name? Wow. Okay. Well then,
That's a powerful name.
that's
huh?
cool. That's cool.
Know what it
Well,
means in Latin?
I think of the movie Gladiator, and I'm like, how can
yeah.
you be Christian and be Maximus?
No, Maximus Decimus Aurelius, Russell Crowe.
Mhm.
Yes.
My
What you do
German
in life,
Shepherd.
that goes in eternity.
And
My
Simon
German Shepherd's name is Van von Maximus.
Simon Hectic is back. I'm going to give you one more chance. You obviously stoned or something. Just what do you want to say?
Welcome back, Simon.
You got 2 strikes, Simon. Make it good.
What's up, Simon?
I'm just saying, like, you're gonna tell me the rules because, like, you keep just dropping me down.
Yeah.
What's the
because
rules?
It's because you're being ignorant and it's my channel. And whenever I want to drop you down, I'll kick you. I will do that because it's my
Yeah,
fucking channel.
what's the rules, bro? Because
The rules are, I will do what I want on my own fucking channel. Those are the rules. That is the only rule, actually.
Could we hear Simon's opinion for a minute? Because I'm curious to his position.
Yeah,
Simon, do you have a question or comment pertaining to the subject at hand?
Apparently, I can't say anything. I'm gonna get dropped down. So
Oh, you have that Wild Hog? Will you give him that opportunity now?
No, you can't say things. It's just if I disagree with it and I think you're being
Yeah,
ignorant.
I've been silenced, but I'm supporting at the same time. Okay, cool.
What do you want to say? What do you want to say? Welcome, Zara. Good to see you.
Morning.
Simon,
my baby's here. You see this shit? Okay. What's up, baby?
What the fuck are you doing here? Go away. Go away. You're just a disruptive little shit. This is not your place. Go back to the
You
beach
know I
sector.
love you, girl. You know I love
don't
you.
start baby girl and me. Off you
All
pop,
right.
dickhead. Come on. I've already had
Hang on,
enough.
chill out.
Mommy, come over
I
here.
want to hear Simon's opinion. Chill out.
Welshman, wait. Just wait. He doesn't have an opinion on
Welshman.
anything. He's come up. Sorry, no offense. I love the Welsh.
Simon, what is your opinion?
I'm gonna share this out on the group just that everyone
You know this
understands what's
character,
going
Sarah?
on.
Oh, far too well.
That's my baby. That's Zara.
You are like channel gonorrhea. There is not a channel that I do not find you on,
I guess
swearing,
I'll-
making an absolute cock of yourself.
It's your call, Wild Hog.
Right, can we just get back to a topic? Simon, jump in if you want, and I'll still kick you when you say something stupid, which you undoubtedly will within the next
Hello,
5
Frank,
seconds.
by the way. Sam, Cora, Thomas, Max.
Right, so what were we talking about before Simon rejoined?
Yeah, no, you can talk
Sarah
about what
was
you want.
asking
I'm
if
just
he was
saying.
the only Kat was asking if she was the only Christian here, and Maximus says no, he's a Christian also.
That's it. Go on, Maximus.
I'm a Christian.
I'm not a Christian.
No, you're not.
Hi, Kristen. How you doing?
What do you mean I'm not?
Gio, you're not a Christian. Unless you.
Why can't I claim to be a Christian?
You can claim it.
Yeah, well, I just did.
But you're lying. Oh, God.
Well, it's not
Well, how do
true.
you know I'm lying?
You're
Right,
lying.
carry on. I'll moderate from the sides. I can't be asked with it.
Wise choice.
Yeah, we know you're lying, Gio. Come on. Or you just trolling.
Based
Well,
on past experience.
how do you know I'm
based
not
on-
lying about being an atheist?
So there's 2 Christians so far. So
Right
I'm
on. Well,
I think
well
you look
done,
much like Lord
Gio.
Carlin.
You
Well
win.
done. You win, right? I don't know, Gio.
You know, I've missed something.
But if you want to have any kind of meaningful conversation, you know, it would help to be, you know,
Bring it up.
Do you guys think that non-religious people, you can call it atheists because that's
What?
What can I talk before you actually? fucking
No,
answer me?
I didn't understand what you said.
you
You
went
cut
a
out
bit
at the
quiet
end.
at the end. Yeah.
All right, there we go.
Yay.
We had this issue before. Anyways, do you guys think that there could be a world where a non-existing or non-religious people could believe, and religious people could coincide?
You sound like a 6-year-old, bro.
The
What do you say,
non-religious
Dr. Dre?
people could believe. That what you said?
You sound like a real
I
6-year-old.
corrected
Go on,
myself
Frank.
there.
Ignore him. Go on.
Talking to the
I
mic.
said that.
Told you.
I'm
I'd
still
give him
not.
last long.
Can anybody else tell me what was his question?
I will repeat
Rephrase. Yeah.
What if
Do you believe in a
okay,
world?
hold on. No, hold on. So do you guys believe there could be a world where people that are non-religious and religious people could coincide in one world? Fucking nicked it. There we go.
Are we doing it
limit
now?
Well,
existence now.
yeah, isn't that?
No,
isn't
no, Jesus Christ.
Isn't that the world we live in?
Yeah, isn't
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I'm
Yeah.
kind
So
of
that's a no,
confused at the
right?
question.
Yeah.
So
No,
why do you guys
no,
don't?
that's completely
That is
impossible.
the issue, right?
That
Because
can't
it's
happen. That's completely impossible. That'll never happen.
no, exactly. But that is the entire point. I mean, such
But
a
we are
simple question.
coinciding, aren't we? We are coexisting. We're not living in a segregated world where you're either a believer or a non-believer. This is a particular topical panel. We coexist every single day without. It's not the question that you ask each other and go to separate shopping malls or schools or social places. So I
Why
think
you,
it's a
you
bit of a
don't have an
non-story.
you don't have an atheist mall where you are?
I wish. I'm only joking. I know where to throw stones. I'm only joking.
Now I'm angry.
So isn't that a general question though? Because we live in a society. Doesn't matter where the fuck you are.
Sorry.
I think the most I got from that, Frank, is does your society, what you're reflecting there, is that your society? It feels like a bigger issue in your day to day than perhaps to
I'm
us.
not reflecting. I'm just asking a question.
I think we already do. Everybody more or less gave the same answer straight away. Like it's not a massive issue, is it?
No, but isn't the simple question? Could we coincide? And the answer is yes.
Yeah, we already do.
Coexist, you mean?
That is the world we live in. Yeah. I can just say Simon Hectic is back. I'm going to kick you again and stop trying to rejoin. I don't want to ban you, but I will do. So
Give him
It's
a
all right.
chance,
So
Wildheart. Give
it's
him
just
a chance.
it's just the fact that it's 1:20 here. He's a bit pissed. Clearly, I know Simon for years. When he's pissed, he's hard work. You might throw a few things in just off key. Just ignore him. He'll calm down. He'll end up buggering off because you're not taking him on board.
I know, but he interrupts every conversation with. He just knocks everything off topic. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, it's your channel, innit? If it bugs you, don't do it.
Well, I'll give him one more chance. Yeah, so basically, yeah, that is the world we live in. Do you mean peacefully? Because there is a lot of conflict between religious people and.
Maybe Frank's talking about other countries that seem to be in constant conflict over religion.
No, just in general.
Oh, yeah. I think there's
I mean,
always
I don't live
people
in the Middle
naturally look
East.
for reasons, don't they, to segregate each other. Look at you see in the Middle East, but they look for reasons. Naturally, human beings always have. Two tribes that live next to each other will look for reasons to segregate. So I don't think doesn't matter. I think it's just always going to be a nature.
So if you were to think about it, all right, just from an emotional perspective, if somebody agrees to disagree, isn't that like the most obnoxious thing to say? Wouldn't that like? I mean, for example, if I go on Twitter and somebody would say agree to disagree, well, I scientifically would be 100% right. For example, right?
Yeah.
It pisses me off. It brings emotions in me because okay, fair enough, it has nothing to do with religion, but I know by society standards that it is 100% right. So if somebody just denies that, isn't it kind of obvious that I would be pissed off?
Well, you don't have to be pissed off. You can agree. You can agree that they're wrong.
Then again, I go like, what if I'm in their shoes? Why do they disagree? Maybe they don't know any better, or maybe they have another explanation on how that science is related. And I think
But
that
isn't that just a massive
Wouldn't
assumption
be-
on your behalf?
Yeah, Frank.
No, it is. And
Is
that's
it
driving me
rational?
crazy.
Right? Is it rational for me to be pissed off at you for something you don't know that I know?
Because of something. Okay, let's say, for example, would you deny gravity?
No.
But if someone did,
There's a lot of
exactly. What if somebody did?
but
There's
if
a lot of
someone,
there are a lot of alternative scientific theories on there, and science it is just a theory, and it's actually fastly being disproven as well with quantum.
Well, if you're simply asking, if I jump off a cliff, do I deny that I'm going to reach the bottom? The simple answer. Yeah, it's gonna
but the
happen.
point is, you can disagree with them and not be pissed off with them.
Yeah,
You can meet someone who disagrees with gravity and not automatically. You can meet someone who disagrees with gravity and not automatically be pissed off with them.
And that made me think, and that's an absolute brilliant question that you're just saying. Is that fucking Newton died because he thought that he could make gold into the guy fucking died from mercury poisoning.
Yeah.
So he was a dumbass as well, So what makes me believe that this brilliant guy that we all claim that see the simplicity of it? I mean, we have Galileo, we have Plato. They all were actually fucking dumb fucks because they all accounted to each other. We think back in the day that they were all brilliant, but they were all discredited of something. They were brilliant guys.
Yeah.
I think see what your original point was getting at now, because I think what you're saying is there's always going to be somebody that thinks differently.
Exactly.
Will we ever agree to get on and say no? Will we ever stop trying to push our own beliefs? When you learn something new and it clicks in your head 100% and you think, oh wow, I've learned this amazing thing, I want to tell everybody about it, whether it's about health, whether it's about science, whether it's about religion. You go through that little preachy phase where you want to tell your loved ones, you want to share it with your friends and your family, and some people it gets you so frustrated because they just don't want to hear it. They want to put the face in their iPhone and play bloody Apple gum bloody games or whatever they play, and they don't want to hear it, and it drives you to distraction. And then I think it sort of settles inside of you that, you know what, if you're not on my frequency, you're not on my journey, the same place, you'll get there or you won't.
Quick question. If somebody disagrees with the position that gravity exists, does that then make it a formality by default if you jumped off a roof that you wouldn't fall?
And that made me think. I'm like, what if that person is not wrong? I mean, that's the thing. That's the entire thing, right?
Right.
What if there is something alternative?
But that's testable. If they jump off a cliff and they do fall, then that
There's
demonstrates.
not only one explanation for it. That's
Exactly.
what I think. That's his point. There's not only one explanation. That one theory
Oh,
can be by the nature of
Gravity is not
science.
a theory, though, is it?
Can I
Well,
say
it is.
something?
It is actually a theory. It is. Yes. It go Google it.
If you was to jump
The
out your
theory.
window now, you'd fly.
No, I'm not. That's a straw man argument. I didn't say
No,
that,
no, I'm
did
just
I?
asking.
I said gravity is a theory. Google it now. Even the most
But it's,
basic and
it's
the
just
most
in
mainstream.
general in the scientific world. The thing is, I'm
So-
covering a trial right now, and there are
Mhm.
so many. It's called the battle of the experts. So it's always trial wise. It's the battle of the experts. And I
Yeah.
didn't realize, like, okay, so one expert says this, one expert says that. Who is right?
Yeah.
And that is the thing. Nobody can figure it out because there's no right answer. It's a
Oh, I get
presumption,
what.
and it is
I
the
get what.
right answer.
Sorry, I get what you're saying. You're saying gravity might exist, but we might have the reasons for it wrong.
The
The
physics of it can be wrong.
contextuality.
Yeah,
Yes.
that could be true, but like saying if someone jumps off a cliff,
Well,
even if we've
you're
got
the
the
only theory that has been pushed that you are
Can-
aware of is gravity. So nobody's denying gravity. He's saying, what if there's an alternate theory that is
Yeah.
called something else by somebody else's brain that makes absolutely more sense in the scientific world? Are you going to now, your indoctrination going to go, oh no, it's always been gravity. It must be this way. It must be this theory. The scientists
No,
push
but
each
they'd
other
have to-
daily.
They'd have to
Can I
prove it
say
wouldn't.
something?
They'd
No,
have to
no,
have
Can I have?
Can just finish this point? No, science changes due to evidence. If we get evidence that gravity
Yep.
is incorrect, and we get more evidence of a better theory, then everyone
Well,
will say
that was just an example, so there's no need to be stuck on one thing because I've actually delved quite
Yes, no, I
deep down
get-
that rabbit hole. And if you want me to bore the tits off you, I
Okay.
can do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Huh?
Go on, Dyson, Thomas. No, I was agreeing. Yeah, if we get more evidence of a
Okay.
better theory, then we'll switch to
Yeah,
that theory.
Okay. Okay. Listen to me for 1 second.
Well,
You're trying to say gravity doesn't exist. I'm not sure if that's what you're saying. It's kind of something like that.
No.
You can call just listen to me for 1 second. You can call it
did.
whatever you want. But we know for a fact, absolutely, if you drop an object, it's going to travel at a certain rate of speed.
I
Every
think you missed the
single
entire
time.
point, Thomas.
And not only that, I'm not finished yet. It's been demonstrated if you shoot a bullet out of a gun and drop the same weight bullet at the same time and the gun is level, the bullets hit the ground at exactly the same time.
Yeah, but we're not arguing gravity.
You can try and
Thomas.
change. You can
Thomas,
try
I
and
listen.
change. You can
Thomas.
try and change. You can
Thomas.
try and change. You can try and change the name of gravity to something else. But everything we know about it is not going to change.
Thomas,
We're not denying it.
One, nobody's denying gravity. It was an example, and one if you would have listened to me, I did say that was an example, not to get stuck on the example that was given by Frank, by the way. Just because you can observe X and Y, nobody's trying to deny gravity. That was not the point that he was making. The initial point has been lost on you.
You yourself said they were disproving
Thomas,
gravity.
this is not the point. Thomas,
Can I try and explain it, DT? What they're saying
in
is
2-syllable words, possibly for this one.
no. Can I just
Yes, 2 syllables is best.
Can just they weren't saying gravity is wrong. They're saying if it turns out that there's another theory that explains what gravity does, would we stick to gravity because it's indoctrinated in us, or would we change our theory of why the thing works the way that it does? Why objects?
It would just be a new. It would just be a new theory of gravity. You're just changing the label. Gravity is not going to change.
So I can tell the people that are going to evolve with science.
Explanation would explain it more easily because we have
The initial question to me from Frank was, he asked me, do I believe gravity exists?
No,
Or
it's
do I
just in
deny
general,
no, do I deny gravity? I said no.
Oh my! Do you know what?
Now,
Honestly, this is what
it
I've
works-
noticed about your
how it
panels.
works-
Terribly
how
wild
it
heart.
works-
You
how
start
it
off
works
with
is
a
a-
topic, and people
how
get
it-
so
oh my
anally
God,
stuck
oh my-
on a tiny little bit of verbiage that they cannot move past it and continue with the actual
Jack, we're
topic.
just asking
I was
questions.
I
So,
was just
Zara, can you explain it with a different
It was
example?
Frank's point. He
I
just
was
used an
giving an
example.
example. I was not giving
Yes.
an answer.
That's what I mean. Can you explain your point again?
Give a
And
simpler
give a
example,
different
please.
example.
I was
Yeah.
about
So-
if a rose was, would a rose still be a rose if it were called by any other name? Is that simple enough for you? Jesus Christ. Sorry, I keep saying Jesus Christ. I keep forgetting it's a religious panel. Sorry.
I'm not religious.
The entire premise of the question is
I've been saying this, right? And you're gonna drop me again, because I'll be saying this. You know what I'm saying?
Or don't, and then I won't drop you. If you know I'm going to drop you because of something he's going to say, then don't say it.
I don't really care, to be honest.
What's your point?
Simon, what have you been saying? Because
you're being dishonest.
Why? Why would you be dishonest?
Everyone on your channel is talking to you, and you're not even paying attention.
No, I was paying attention. What am I being dishonest
No,
about?
you're not.
Right, what am I being dishonest about then?
It actually looks like you're attracted to this dude with a weird haircut.
It seems like I love Frank. Yeah, we're engaged to be married. I'm homosexual.
Who isn't, Simon?
You're not even listening to your panelists. Like, people are actually speaking to you, but you're so concerned about having this dude up here. All right.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, you.
What have you been drinking, Simon?
No, it's cool. Don't worry about it. I'm just saying, like, people are actually speaking. No, people are actually speaking to you. They're talking sense. It's a real conversation. But yeah,
you call me dishonest. I haven't even hardly been speaking. Are you talking to me?
No, I don't know you, bro.
So are you calling dishonest then?
Are you trying to pick a fight with me,
I don't know what's his name. Where's it? Let me look at this.
You don't know who you're aiming your insult
What's his saying? Let's be
Frank. Frank, his name is.
What's his name?
Frank.
Let's be
Frank with you. Let's be frank with you. It's wordplay. His name is Frank.
Okay. Yo, Zara, you know me, right? You know I don't play like that. Okay.
I can tell you're a little bit impaired, Simon.
Yeah, Simon, we were talking about something. What is your point? Do you have something pertaining to the topic, or are you just gonna just call people dishonest when you don't know who they are and you don't know who you're talking to?
No. I'm actually contributing to your topic. If you actually pay attention.
We were talking about gravity and science and theories. What point do you have about that topic?
Well, do you know what gravity and science is about?
You tell me, because I am dying to know.
No. Okay.
Can you mansplain that for us?
You know, like
Nice and slow.
I worship the sun.
Oh God.
Right.
Do you know why I worship the sun?
I don't really.
Illuminates.
Look.
I want to know your religious beliefs. That would be interesting, Simon, because I know your religious history, but I would like to know what you currently believe in.
I worship the sun. You people worship things.
You should not presume what other people worship. You should not presume.
Sorry, is the sun not a thing? So we worship things and you worship the sun. Is the sun not a thing?
The sun is something that's not created by man, so it's not a thing. A thing is now wait, shut the fuck up, nigga. Look.
Amen. Oh, chill, brother. Hey, chill, man. Like, wow.
Fuck off. No, you are.
He was talking about Jesus. He was referring the son to Jesus, but that wasn't extreme.
No, what it is he hangs around American panels where they say that a lot frequently. So he sounds quite American. He's from London, and very well to do.
Thing is, he can say that word though. He can. You know, you can't.
Well, he does it. He does it on mine. He followed me around. He does this, and he tries to because he's so used. It's called the beef sector, where they all you know, bitch, what you doing, bitch? I'm gonna come shoot you, pick up you, all that stuff.
Echo
So
chamber.
yeah, where they just fight. So that's where he's from. So not to forgive him or anything, but that's just what he's used to. That's his niche.
No, forgive him. He's had a bit to drink. He's a bit inebriated. Forgive him.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. That explains why he does it, but that I can still kick him.
It's still not okay, and no matter how many times I tell him none of that on mine, he'll still do it anyway. So just
when the pimp's trying to get it, drop it like it's hot. Drop it like it's hot.
Are you singing?
Yeah.
Homie, Carrie.
Cara, how did you recognize that as singing? That was awful.
You don't have to tell me that. I am already so.
Do you know who you look like on your avatar? Remember that fella who said "do-na-na-na" with Pharrell? It tried to pronosticate you. What's it called? Blade Lines.
Pharrell Williams.
I'm terrible with names. That's who your avatar looks like. Sorry. Do you know what, Cara? I'm trying to be respectful because you said that there's 2 Christians on the panel. But I didn't realize how many times when I'm cross or getting a bit short, I say, Jesus Christ or God, for God's sake. I didn't realize until I've just been conscious of it there.
Sarah, she's from my universe. She is
I'm friends with Frank. I'm used to this. I hear him say things all the time.
I've just never been aware of it. So.
But it's not as if you're cursing Christ, though, is it? You're not doing nothing.
No.
You're not doing it on purpose. I don't say it.
Yeah. Maybe it's
I
something to
say
be
it
more
for
thoughtful
her.
of, more
He
mindful.
says it for me. Yeah. I don't say it. I do cuss sometimes, but not very often.
Wait,
but I don't want to keep you from talking just the way you normally do. So.
Oh, that's why you're here. Okay.
Is it Maximus? Are you the Welshman? I'm trying to look for the avatars bouncing.
I'm the Welshman, yeah. I'm Maximus. How's it going?
Good, thank you. You're good.
I'm good, thank you.
I'm interested. I'm intrigued. Are you Christian? Are you the other fella that said you're Christian?
I'm a Christian, yeah.
Yeah. Do you know what it's like? Wales, Liverpool, sort of swear a lot, don't we? Sort of naturally.
Yeah.
Do you notice that? Do you try not to do that? Say.
Yeah, I'm not perfect. I do swear on times, but when I catch myself swearing, I tell myself off straight away. You know, because obviously we got more to our vocabulary than F's. B's,
Yeah.
you know,
It's a
C's,
sign of of low intelligence.
You fucking bloody wanker!
Now that's
Boyo.
the stereotyping.
You don't sound stereotypical, to be fair.
And really, it's not the cussing; it's the intention behind the cussing. I think.
True. Glad you said, but I will definitely be more aware of that. It's not a good thing.
No, just be you.
Well,
You
the
can
Bible
regret-
does say not to take the Lord's name in vain, but it will be forgiven.
And I'm very sorry to do this, but I do have to be up in a couple of hours. Well, about 5 hours. So I'm going to have to bring this to a close. But thanks everyone for being here, and thanks everyone for watching.
Thank you,
Well,
Aaron.
that's good to
Have a
see
good
you, bro.
night.
God bless you.
Good night. God bless everybody.
Love you, bro. God bless all.
Too.
Cheers, everyone. Thanks a lot.